What's going on, y'all? Polo Sports Talking ENT. Wait for y'all to go ahead and come in here again. Had to take care of something, but nevertheless, I'm back again. Um, I'll wait for y'all, a few of y'all to come in here. Hit that like and hit that sub if you come on in. And I'll wait for a few of y'all to come in here. Um, Hope everybody's still doing okay. I am on this end, up in here just taking it easy. Um, Got a pretty much a busy day today. I'll pretty much be on here for the stretch and the entire day today. Um, Hoping that y'all taking care of yourself. There's only one game today, unfortunately. I thought that it would be pretty packed with games today, but it's not. It's the much anticipated game, which is the Brooklyn Nets versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Hit that like and hit that sub as you come on in. As I go ahead and jump on this and wait to get into it. And believe you me, I got a lot to say about this if it does transpire. Let's see. Now I'm gonna go ahead and get it started. I want to give a shout out to my brother, Ticket TV. If you're not sub to Ticket TV, definitely go sub to his channel. Constantly brings up to date basketball, and he does other sports too, content. So sub to Ticket TV, but shout out to him because he was the one to break the news on this. But basically, Pat Riley could be possibly open to the idea of LeBron returning to the Miami Heat, and it says, I quote, "I would leave the key under the doormat if he would call and let me know he's coming." Riley said, "I would do that, but I doubt very much if that the keys are rusted now. I wish him nothing but the best," he said of James, "and if he ever wanted to come back, then I'll put a shiny new key under that mat." End quote. Now, to me, I don't think LeBron James will rule it out. If things like Ticket was saying, I don't think he would rule it out. But if he did return to Miami, then I don't know. Salute to you, Annie K. You said salute Polo. I can't see LeBron in the Heat jersey. I think Jimmy and LeBron won't work. I don't even know if Jimmy would be there. I don't even know if he would be there if LeBron came. But I don't think this is my thing on it. You you left on bad terms. You left the Heat on bad terms. The the way he left, a lot of people were not too pleased with that. And then on top of that, when he would go to Miami, he wouldn't play sometimes. So people remember stuff like that. Pat Riley, I'm pretty sure he had that in the back of his mind. However, I think Pat Riley does want to win. And he was so close to that championship last time. Man, they were just like, man, just a game or two away from winning that he got a taste of what it was like to be in the finals again. And I think he misses that. And of course, he saw the value of guys like D Wade and LeBron and Bosh. He saw the value of them. And even if he is in in that case, year 19 or year 20, I don't think he will rule out the possibility of him returning. Now, he will be older. He'll be an older LeBron. He won't. We're not talking about the same LeBron in like 2010 and 2011 and all of that. Uh, we're talking about a LeBron that has been in the league and has had injuries and things of that nature coming on. So I don't know if it's going to go down. Um, Maybe it will go down. Because like I said, I hope I hope that he just finishes out his career in the best of health. He doesn't have to be the best, even the best player, because that to me, that's that's no longer he's no longer the in my eyes he's not no longer the best player in the league. It's not it's nothing against him or anything like that, but it's time to kind of put somebody else in that position. You know, so I don't know, Andy K. If he does go there, I just he'll be older, and then he'll be working with some younger guys. We got to see what's going to happen with Eric Spoelstra. I really want to see. I'm anxious to see what's going to happen with Eric Spoelstra. Not to say that his job is on the line or anything, but we have to see what happens. Miami Heat organization is notorious for its conditioning and strength program strength training. If I was in the NBA, I would love to play for Miami. No state taxes, nice houses, beaches, etc. Yeah, that's true, Red Pill. Yeah, they definitely want to keep you in good shape, in good condition. When he was out there, they were constantly out there working out. His body took a tremendous a tremendous step up. Uh, but Red Pill, Father Time is Father Time. Trevor Ariza, even though he was older and everything, and of course he isn't what he once used to be. He still went out there and he competed, and he was getting up and down the floor. Now, was he the same Trevor Ariza that he was in L.A. and Houston and Phoenix? No, he wasn't. But he still brought value to the team. Man, I remember they benched James Johnson for not meeting the weight requirements and conditioning standard. Yeah, James Johnson. You mean are you talking about James Johnson? Are you talking about James Johnson? James Johnson. Oh, okay, 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 okay. Yeah, James Johnson with all, yeah, the crazy guy. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, you said Pat Riley, and also, but he wants the best out of his players. James Johnson on the Pelicans, MMA, correct? Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, yeah, crazy guy, man. Yeah, yeah. I, you know, I don't think Pat Riley is. If you're gonna call Pat Riley a hole, red pill, then what do you think Danny Ainge is? What do you think Danny Ainge is? Salute to you, Ray DeRozo. I see you in here. What do you think Danny Ainge is? So Pat Riley is not a. I wouldn't call him that. What I will say is that he wants structure. You know, he wants. He has guidelines that are set. I mean, what's he called? Runs. He had a reputation for running his players to the ground. Tom Thibodeau. So no, I don't see him as a hole red pill. You know, I see him as, you know, he has a structure and a protocol that he wants to keep. Everybody runs their organization, you know, differently. You know, but Miami, you're gonna you're gonna go out there and you're gonna have to follow a protocol. Deion Waiters was too out of shape, and the Heat organization changed his body and his lifestyle. Uh, I mean, that was Deion Waiters, man, was, you know, a guy that was into, you know, smoking and all that other stuff, you know, and certain players have different focuses, you know. Certain players have different focuses. If you're gonna come in there, uh, you know, and half-ass it, then you're gonna get half-ass results, you know. But if you want to come in there and you want to actually win, and you're there for titles, and you're there to be successful, then what you put out on the floor, I mean, what you put into your craft, that's what you're gonna get on out on the floor. You said Pat Riley is militant, and when it comes to the Heat, he has a standard and expects all of his players to follow that. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, man. Pat Riley, I respect Pat Riley, and I like what he doing. I like what he doing. I mean, he gave other guys an opportunity to play again. He let he let Andre Iguodala and Trevor Ariza. He still lets Udonis Haslem still be on the bench, and yet Udonis Haslem hasn't played a full game in I don't know how long. So you gotta respect somebody like that. He could have got rid of him a long time ago. I like old school coaches that are strict and system based. Coaches that love defense, rebounding, and conditioning, off ball movements, and handoff big. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You know, that's why you have to respect a guy like a Tom Thibodeau. You have to respect a guy like Nate McMillan. You know, you have to respect a guy. Even you know, Quinn Snyder. Quinn Snyder has an old school mentality. You know, you probably won't see it because they because of the score. You know, the various scores that they have. But yes, I love them too. I like the old school, you know, mentality and stuff. But a lot of guys can't handle that. Believe it or not, some older guys in the NBA can't handle that because you know, some of them are set in their ways. They want to be able to do what they want to do their own thing. They feel like, well, I made it to the NBA. Who are you to tell me anything? That's what some of them believe. Red pill. You said Miami is pretty much an an army boot camp. I'm thinking about I'm thinking about joining the armed forces after I finish up medical school. It pays good and would love to travel the world. Well, man, go ahead. More power to you, Red Pill. You know, whatever you want to do, man. Shoot for the stars, man. But I'm gonna tell you like this, man. You know, it's not something. Once you sign that dotted line, you know, you pretty much are, you know, are part of Uncle Sam. and that's it. Ain't no turning back, and it's not gonna be as easy as you think it is. It's definitely gonna be a challenge. So, but yeah, I believe if you believe that you can do it, go ahead and do it. It teaches you structure. Um, it you know it teaches you a lot about life, organization, communication. You know, I mean, the way Pat Riley has his organization set up, I wouldn't. I would like for more for more people in their front offices to set it up like that. Now, okay, Miami lost, but they have championships under their resume. They won it in '06, and they won it in when they had Brian and them boys. You know, what's up with it, Trudy King? I see you in here, man. I saw you was talking about hip hop the other day, man. I wanted to join on that panel to discuss the hip hop because one thing I love, man, I do love some hip hop, man. I get into that too, everywhere, whether it's East Coast, West Coast, Midwest, of course, down south. Man, I definitely love that hip hop. So y'all follow True the King, subscribe to his page. Definitely intelligent brother, man, and definitely doing big things over there, and definitely knows about the game of basketball too, and the game of life itself. And as a military veteran, we talking about that. So, but yeah, Red Pill, it is like a boot camp. Um, it is like a boot camp. If you go to Miami, you better expect to work, and you're gonna get the results out of there. I thought LeBron was in the best shape of his life when he was in Miami. That's just, I mean, because he was already in shape and he already took good care of his body, but uh, he definitely propelled it when he went out there. Always been a fan of Jimmy Butler. His career has been under the radar, and the Texas brothers are tough as hell. Yeah, that's right. He came from uh, nothing to an NBA star. Got to get got to get his jersey. Well, Jimmy Butler, man, he's been plagued with injuries this whole season. So to sit here and say that he just played like straight trash, um, some of the people that say that, I don't necessarily agree with that. He was hurt in the finals. Um, he was struggling with injuries, and Bam had to pick up the load, but he didn't complain. He still went out there. He still fought hard and did what he needed to do. And I like Jimmy Butler. Yes, he definitely is a thoroughbred coming from Texas. He gets it out of the mud, and at one point he was one of the best two-way players in the league. He was all about defense first, and he had offense. I mean, make no mistake about it. He could score. Now was he like the Kobe's or any of the guys of that caliber? No, but they don't call him Jimmy Buckets for nothing. He does know how to score. But defense is bread and butter. I don't see LeBron going back. I don't really either. I don't see it either, Kevin. I mean, but stranger things have happened. Stranger things have happened. Stranger things have happened, man, in this league. My high school coaches weren't strict on conditioning, so right after off-season practice, I went to the gym and conditioned on exercise bike for about an hour. That exercise bike helps you like any type of cardio, man. Even going to a spin class definitely helps you out. You right on it, Red Pill. Your thought about my thought. about Dennis Schroeder this year. Man, he was a roller coaster ride, and he was a disaster towards the end of the season. I mean, let's just call it what it is. He he did all right, like in some games, where in late game situations, but it seemed like when AD had came back, they just weren't on the same. Well, Schroeder wasn't on the same page, and in the playoffs, his whole body language. You're supposed to be the floor general. You're supposed to be running the offense. Frank Vogel, I felt like he he trusted a guy that shouldn't have been trusted that much. But Schroeder could have did a whole hell of a lot better. But Kevin, that's what's it called? Rob Pelinka was talking about keeping the core together. And Red Pill, I know you've seen that. They want to keep the core together in LA. We'll have to see, what happens, and that's why I bring this up about, shout out to my boy Ticket TV. He's the one that put me on this. I felt like I needed to talk about this. I felt like I needed to talk about this. Dennis ain't a one to me. He a two masquerading as a one. Yeah, but he pass he can pass, but he just chooses not to. In the beginning of the year, he was getting through the lane because I made a video about him actually giving him some credit, but he uh he just he could be a little selfish at times, you know. At the beginning of the year, he wasn't playing like that. He was playing like he really wanted to be a Laker. Like his body language was clear that he wanted to get better. He wanted to thrive in the system. But unfortunately, towards the end, he just wasn't on the same page as the rest of the players. You said Schroeder is a beast, though. He likes floor general IQ and passing skills. Man, you know what, Red Pill? Some guys, man, they can play the sport and they can pass and they do have an IQ. They just choose not to. They choose not. They just choose not to. They just choose not to. Montrezl Hill is a big mistake. Uh, not to take the Charlotte Hornets money. Yeah, that's facts. That's facts. Kevin, that's facts. You know, that's facts. And we don't know what the future holds, Samurai. We don't know what the future holds. He could be. He could say, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and stay a Laker, and then leave. Stranger things have happened, so we can't sit here and rule out the possibility. Would I be surprised if he went back? No. Brian in the Heat jersey polo. I mean, yeah, yeah. I think Schroeder was playing out of position. He's really a six man. I said that same thing, South Solitical. I said the same thing. I said the same thing. Caruso should have been starting. And people want to get all down on Caruso, and they want to sit here and talk about, oh yeah, well he wasn't this and he wasn't that. Well, when you play in Spurs and you only can do so much, and being taken in and you being taken out and stuff like that, that really messes with your game. Caruso, you could utilize him on there. Hey, Samurai. I'ma holler at you, man. Don't disrespect my boy on this channel. I'ma holler at you. Uh, Hey, listen, for I'm gonna tell y'all this. One time and one time only. I won't tolerate any disrespect to any other panel. Okay? I don't care who it is. Don't come on my channel trying to disrespect people. I don't tolerate that. Okay? That's my guy. If y'all got a problem with him, if you got a problem with any of the guys that I associate with, you go holler at him. I won't tolerate that. You know what I'm saying? If you have problems with the next man, go get at him. These guys got emails. These guys got ways that you could get a hold of him and have a respectable conversation. But I don't get into any of that. This guy is this and this guy is that. Ticket is my guy. Ticket TV is my guy. Okay. If whatever you say, whatever you want to about him, but I won't tolerate any disrespect. Just like if somebody was talking about Jamoris and said some foul about Jamoris, I'ma holler at you and I'ma holler at whoever's with you. If somebody says something disrespectful about Red Pill, if somebody says something disrespectful about our South Political, if somebody says something disrespectful about Ray, Annie K, True the King, anybody, okay? This is a brother and a sisterhood. We come in here to talk sports, and that's it. It don't have to be nothing personal. I don't want to hear none of that disrespecting, and that's my final time addressing it. If you have something against me for doing it, that's on you. But I don't feel like it's fair for you to sit here and talk about the next man. You know, go holler at him. Schroeder was playing out of position. He was better at the two, but you gotta remember OKC he was playing the point too. Brown in the Heat, realistic offseason Lakers target uh, Jeremy Grant and Buddy Hill in my opinion. That's a good move. I wanted Buddy Hill on my squad. I wanted Buddy Hill on my squad. We could use there be another shooter. Magic Johnson, Rip Schroeder. Yeah, I saw that. He's a Laker great. There's expectation. I wouldn't be surprised at Poli at all. Poli, you mean Polo, but I don't think so. Let's see. Imagine a backcourt of Caruso and T.J. McConnell, crazy clamps on defense, old school hustle. Yeah, Red Pill. That's the game I like right there. That's the game that I like. No disrespect to the brother or sisterhood. Exactly, Jamoris. You know how we get down, man. Look, I don't mind anybody going at each other as far as basketball, but when you make it personal, man, you gotta get out of here with that. This is just the internet. Half of y'all not going to even see each other in real life. And if you do, y'all settle that, on your own. Two men can come together and sit down and have a decent conversation, especially if you're over the age of 30. You know what I'm saying? You should be able to sit down and have a respectable conversation and agree to disagree. But when it goes beyond basketball and, saying this, calling people names and stuff like that, I don't get down with none of that, and I won't condone it. I don't condone it. T. Price won't condone it on his platform. LB won't condone it on his platform. Two Raw won't condone it on his platform. James won't condone it on his platform. You know, so if you're looking for me to sit up there and choose sides and jump on a train and be like, yeah, I'm with this person, I'm with that person, have a T-shirt advocating for another person or something like that, I'm not with it. Don't pull me into no drama. I'm not with it. If you don't like that, go ahead, get up out of here. Hey, Polo, Goat Mike and I settled our issues, man, on his panel. He was kind enough to admit his mistakes and settle like, man, Goat Mike is my guy. Goat Mike is my guy. That's another guy. If you got a problem with Goat, hey, you go settle it with him. I don't have no problem with Goat. Uh, I always let him come on here, just like a lot of other guys. You know, listen. Everybody ain't gonna like everybody. Red pill. Everybody ain't gonna like everybody. Everybody's not gonna like what you have to say. Some people not gonna like the way you sound or how you look or how you approach life. But you know, you should be able to have your opinion validated on a panel when it comes to a sport. Straight up. Dennis the Menace. Now the Lakers fans don't want Kyle Kuzma no more. Um, Kevin, man, Kyle Kuzma, Kyle Kuzma was great when he came in. Well, he was loaded with a lot of potential when he came in. I think when he took a back seat to LeBron, that's when his game like took a step back as well. Because you got to remember, uh, he was on the verge of becoming a 20-point scorer. He was putting up. The first years in his league, first 2 years in the league, he put up 16, and he put up, around 16 or 18. I've always liked Kyle Kuzma game. I still got faith in him too. He's still a young player. That's what a lot of guys y'all don't realize. But he lost their confidence. You gotta realize, okay, look, let's go, let's dissect this, okay? His first year in LA, he was scoring around 16.1 points per game. Okay, his second year, he was averaging 18. That's not trash. Then guess what? Then when when LeBron had came, and of course he was out. Well, he wasn't out. I'm sorry. He he had missed a few games. Uh, he went down to 12.8, and now this season he's at 12.9. So he's really taking a step back. Some players are unmotivated. When another player comes, because now their roles have changed, and they're used to being that guy. Kuzma was Kuzma was a disappointment in the playoffs. Man, he's not a bad that bad of a player. Maybe it's his mindset and also not being first or second option. Exactly, that is what it is, Red Pill. That is what it is. That's exactly what it is. He wants to be that top dog. He wants to be that top dog. He signed the contract though. He wanted to extend it, and he wanted to stay there. That was on him. You knew what you was getting into. If you felt like any type of way, then you should have just left the situation. You had every opportunity. You had every opportunity to go ahead and leave. That's nobody's fault except yours. That's nobody's fault except yours. I mean, I don't. I never saw a lot of people calling Kyle Kuzma trash. He's not trash. When you play comfortable, it makes a difference. Polo, a sneaky pickup for the Lakers would be a guy like Nerlens Noel. He's a free agent in the offseason. Lakers and the Heat are going to make chess moves. I could see that. Don't forget about the Knicks. The Knicks aren't done. The Knicks still have something to build on. The Knicks have something to build on, and so do the. Well, I'm not gonna rule out Houston either, because I definitely feel like Houston wants to grow and get better too as well. You didn't really see it, but I'm not gonna go to sleep on H Town. I agree. Paulo Cruz is not motivated like before, especially with the coaching staff only relying on Bron and AD. Yeah, I think the coaching. I mean, I think the staff as an organization, man, they did a horrible job. They shouldn't have. Down the stretch, they shouldn't have let AD play. I think it was the decision making. I think the decision making. It came down to decision making. It wasn't good. They let AD play. I think Kyle Kuzma can only play good on a bad team. I don't think so. South Solitical, because Kyle Kuzma when he you got to remember before LeBron had came, um, he was actually making some noise. You have to develop those South Solitical. You're not gonna come in right away just killing like that. Everybody's development is not the same. I mean, look at John Morant. You know, I mean, you know, it took him, you know, uh, 1 or 2. Trey Young took him some time. I know Kyle Kuzma has, but he's playing for a franchise in which there are banners hanging. Memphis ain't never hung no banners, so he could do what he want. They looking for anybody to jump on. Atlanta ain't never hung no banners. They looking for somebody to do it, to do it for them. But you talking about the Lakers. You talking about the likes of Kobe Bryant stepping through there. You talking about the likes of Kareem Magic. All these other guys stepping through there. You know that you got big shoes to fill when you come there, buddy. Kevin, uh, if Luka Doncic played uh, join LeBron, will you see? What if Luka join LeBron James? You going to see a Luka number drop big? I wouldn't like that though. I wouldn't like them playing together. Both of them are so ball dominant. Lakers fan are unappreciative. That's your opinion, RJ Watt. I mean, when you come there to LA, there's a different set of expectations. Now, I do agree with you in the sense of getting on social media and blasting everybody, or Snoop getting out there criticizing AD. That right there, that's pushing the line of threatening somebody's life like Danny Green. I don't get down with none of that. Frank Vogel is a great defensive coach, but average offensive coach. Yeah, that's facts. I'm hoping Vogel changes offensive schemes for next season. More free flow. Lakers have to stay healthy and smart. Yeah, I agree with that. Brandon Ingram, the most improved players. I don't know. Well, Brandon Ingram has always been, loaded with potential in my eyes. He's always been loaded with potential in my eyes. Brandon Ingram was definitely a top tier player. He reminds me so much of Kevin Durant with the way that his body is shaped, and also uh, to some degree with the way that he plays. I mean, he still could work on his shot just a little bit, but like I said, these guys are still developing, man. You know, it's hard to judge a guy in his first couple of years. What's up, Sal?
What's going on, man? I'm right here at the barbershop waiting to get me a cut outside, waiting for my barber to call me in, but I just want to chop it up on the Kuzma situation.
Yeah, go ahead, brother. You got it, man.
Um, I the reason why I feel like that with Kuzma, because to be honest with you, I think he's been more disappointing than Schroeder, coming especially coming down the stretch of the season, man. Because you gotta look at it like this: the first, the last 2 years, even if you look last year, they were expecting Kuzma to come in the season and step up in his role. He knew what his role was to come to come off the bench and give them, and they wanted him to come off the bench and get him that extra consistent scoring. Like he was, I mean, that was something that he was proven to be a scorer, a player that could score in bunches, and get streaky, man. And he played terrible down the end of the season and going into the playoffs. I mean, it just gave them nothing off the bench. You know what I mean? And I just feel like at this point, just looking at him, I feel like the only role he can play is to be on a team where a bad team and had a red light to just horse shots. Because I mean, before LeBron them came, they were a team that just were in developing. They were developing young players, and even if you look at a lot of the young players that left, that got traded off or left, they either all stars or six man of the year. And he's in a. I mean, of course, he's playing a less deduced role because it's not as much asked of him. But I mean, he's been horrific, man. He really has. I mean, maybe some other people feel the other way, another way, but I'm, you know, I just feel like he's a player that the only role he can really play is just being a scorer on a bad team.
Look, man, I'm gonna put you like this. I agree with you. Um, See, the thing about it too is that we also have to understand. Let's dive in deep for a moment. South Solitical, because man, I like to put scenarios and I like to put things in context, and also I like a lot of interpretation.
Yeah, because
Let's say
let
me
me
and
say
you.
this before you get going. I want to say this because you remember at some point, I'm gonna see if you agree with this. At some point, Kuzma was looked to have more upside than Ingram and a lot of the other players. Am I wrong?
That's facts.
And look at him now, like he's nowhere close to playing at the consistency level of an Ingram in New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? He's a emerging star. He's actually developing, and that some actually that a lot of people thought he wouldn't in LA. But I'm gonna let you continue. My bad.
No, it's all good, man. Look, let's say I'm a okay. When you talk about Kuzma, You remember it was him and Lonzo Ball. It was him, Lonzo Ball, and Brandon Ingram was
Yeah.
supposed to be that trio. You know what I'm saying? They were supposed to be the forces, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? To
Before they
usher
even
in,
thought they could possibly get LeBron, yeah.
yeah, they were supposed to usher in that new generation. You know, in terms of the Lakers and everything. So take that to account. Let's say me and you and on here, I'll say RJ Guap. Let's say me, you, and RJ Guap. You know, all of us, we're first round draft picks. You know what I'm saying? Coming out of college, leaders of our team, highly touted, loaded with potential and everything. And then we're doing good. We're developing. We're not quite there yet. Close to, kind of pushing that win. And we're developing. But then you have a you have a mega star that comes in, and nobody really is talking about you no more. You went from scoring 16 to 18 points a game. Now your role is reduced. You even went to the bench, um, and then they also have these different sets of expectations, and with expectations come consequences if you don't meet those expectations. So that makes you play even more uncomfortable.
Yeah.
There's a
I,
men, there's a mental aspect and a mental space when you in that situation,
I get what you're
because
coming from. I agree with that. Young players in any sports, is a very thin line between affecting their confidence where it could potentially affect their growth. But when you look at, to me, when you look at Kuzma, man, it's like even you mean at some point of your career, you should your game should start to grow intellectually. And really, when you watch him get in the game, it's like a player that don't know what's going on. It's like he's a rookie. Every time you get in the game, you look like you watching a rookie play, man. And his game, I know he's still a young player, but it seems like his game should be more advanced from an IQ standpoint in the game. And I haven't seen that growth. And I just don't know how much more outside of scoring, because we talked about this before, Polo. Like people, I think people overrate scoring in a lot of different ways. Scoring is important, but if the scoring was that important, the best team in the league will win. I mean, the high scoring team in the league will win the chip more times than less. It's way more to the game than scoring, especially when you're talking about being a part of a championships. You know what I mean? And
right.
when you watch Kuzma, it's like a rookie out there playing every game, man. Dang there, bro.
See, South Political. See that goes back. Look, I'm on the same. Me and you, we on the same page, and I definitely feel where you're coming from, because I've been real critical, real critical of uh, Kuzma just as well as Schroeder. But I understand what you're saying in the comparison. Yeah, Kuzma has had that opportunity. He's had that opportunity numerous times to have the keys, by himself, and he just didn't do that. When LeBron was out, and then when AD was out, he had a chance to actually, step up and hoist the team on his back. But this is the thing, though, too, and I'm not making no excuses for him. He's been kind of on a roller coaster ride of having to, okay, 1 minute, what I'm saying, oh yeah, here we go, and then the next minute, then back. I think what he wants, and what Red Pill was talking about too, is, you have some players, South Solitical, that if they are not that main guy, or they're not seen as the vocal point of the offense, then they just like, whatever. And you could clearly see South Solitical, his
I
body
agree with
language,
that.
and none of the
That's a
Lakers'
great
body
point.
language was even the same. They didn't even look motivated to play.
I
Boston had more heart than them.
They were
I
not on the
agree.
same page at all. They were not on the same page. I mean, the Phoenix Suns series because I noticed that Kuzma was just just lackluster just all the time. The guy looked just out of it and stuff. I know like for a fact Kuzma has a lot of potential and stuff. But it seems like his, just role in the like NBA is probably gonna have to be like a gunner, like just shoot a lot of threes, and just put up shots and stuff. I mean, that's his role and stuff. Unless if he wants to, just improve his defensive skill set, which I think the guy has a potential to. The problem is, I noticed that while I just watching the Lakers game like this year and stuff, I noticed that his defensive just rotations were off tremendously. I mean, he looked like he was the worst defensive player on the court and stuff. And like I know for a fact Kuzma could do one stuff on like trash ass team, like maybe like a OKC type of team or like a Orlando, just Magic type of team. But yeah, I mean, like that's my opinion on Kuzma and stuff. It's just like I feel like like this, this off season is gonna be like interesting for the Lakers, and I feel like the Lakers are probably gonna ship him out of somewhere, man. I think it's probably gonna be Siberia or Shanghai or I don't know where's it at.
Siberia and Shanghai, man. Come on, Red.
No,
God
man, I'm
dang, not
trolling.
overseas. What's up,
No, man,
Lou
I'm trolling.
Ryder, man?
Yeah,
Hey, and
yeah.
y'all subscribe to my boy Lou the Ryder, man. Definitely bringing content. Got that
Hey,
knowledge.
salute.
Shot Town fan in the building. Louisville
Uh,
fan. 49ers fan. He do it all. He do all sports, man. Go ahead,
salute,
Lou the
Lou. What's
Ryder,
good?
man. Take it away, man.
I just want to say this, man. How much is that really Kuzma's fault? Because when you play with LeBron, you got to play a certain way in his system.
Yeah,
Like
that's true.
before LeBron got there, you used to see Kuzma go out there confident, putting up 20 to 25 points. I'm like, hey, this is. I thought when I first saw Kuzma play, when first saw him playing the league, I was like, man, this is a version almost like Clay Thompson, the way he was knocking down 3-point shots.
Yeah, 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 for sure.
I'm just
Um,
saying, like, say they like. Let's face it, he gone. He gonna be probably get traded
yeah.
somewhere. He probably gonna get traded somewhere in Spurs as a player. Nowadays, he don't have to play in that system no more.
Hey
If he,
Baloo, hey Baloo, but I have a feeling that he might get traded to Detroit and stuff for Jeremy Grant. Just like because
Yeah,
of
cause
the
he from there. He from Michigan.
yeah, Flint, Michigan. Yeah, the guy's
that's
from
what I'm
Flint, I
saying. That's
think.
what I'm saying. Say you get traded to Detroit and go there, and end up being a superstar. Then
And
what? Y'all gonna be pissed. Y'all true Lakers fans gonna be pissed off about that.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm alright with Jonas Kuzma and stuff. It's just like over the span of his time as a Laker and stuff, it's just like his like
I
production.
understand I
Yeah.
understand what y'all saying about Kuzma, but is it really his fault that he had to
Nah,
Salute, Red
adjust
Con. I
the
see
game?
you in the building, man.
I don't.
Is it,
I don't. I mean, it's not his fault because like I mean, like like with LeBron's teams and stuff, like they have a system where like he wants to get surrounded and stuff by 3 and D players and stuff, right? Because I remember like on the Miami Heat, I mean like the guy has Shane Battier, I mean Mike Miller, Norris Cole, Mario Chalmers, and a bunch of other guys on the team that
all
actually,
I gotta say is this. Remember when
yeah,
Giannis.
Kevin Love was in Minnesota? He was putting
yeah,
up double doubles. Next thing you know, he get traded, play with LeBron. Even though he putting up points, they said, "Oh, he still ain't doing enough. He still
yeah.
ain't." So
He
when
was a
you put,
spot up shooter. He was a spot up shooter for the Cavs. Pretty much all he did.
so LeBron
Yeah,
forced him to change his whole game with
yeah,
he with LeBron should never did.
yeah,
He forced because when you play with LeBron, you won't have to be a stretch big who can shoot 3-point shots.
yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, like I remember like back in the day stuff because I used to go and just watch a bit of the Kevin Love just highlights with Timberwolves and stuff. Hey, the guy was a beast on the Timberwolves, but the problem is his teams were trash. Like, I mean, like they didn't have anybody good outside of Brandon Roy or
You know
Nikola
what?
Pekovic and
Because
Rubio. That's
because
all.
LeBron
Yeah.
started. I think the thing went wrong with LeBron started to have that mindset when he saw what Golden State was doing.
Oh, really? Okay. Okay.
When
Oh, you.
he
Yeah.
when everybody saw what Golden State was doing, every team in the league tried to replicate that type of system,
He said,
and that's
for
why
me, for me, Kyle Kuzma to the Kings and Kyle Kuzma for De'Aaron
He
Fox.
he
Which one?
would he would look nice on the Kings though. I'm not gonna lie. Just like because with the Sacramento
And how the
Kings
hell, RJ Guap? How the hell is Luke capping? What is he capping about? Explain
nah
yourself, man.
nah man, like like with the Lakers and stuff. Okay, about the Kuzma to the Kings and stuff, Kevin. I mean that would fit and stuff because with the Kings it's all about like a run
what.
and gun,
Hold on,
just offense.
hold on.
Yeah.
What I'm capping about the system, the way the NBA runs the system now, about the way Kuzma game is looking right now, about the way LeBron James has came in the lead and changed everybody's system once you play with him, changed their playing style. Like if you ain't straight big,
He said he was saying that you said that LeBron only played with stretch bigs.
Oh,
over his career since he came back to Cleveland, how many bigs you've seen dominate the post playing with LeBron?
no, I mean, not. I mean, I haven't seen it at all. I mean, I've seen Tristan Kardashian and stuff, but that dude had a
Here you
different,
go.
just role and stuff, man.
Not
He had a
you.
different role and stuff. I mean, the guy was like a rebounding, just machine and stuff. All he had to do was, just hustle, get the garbage points and stuff. But I mean, the most dominant, just big man. I mean, just LeBron played with was I mean, I don't know. It's probably like a washed up Shaq and like back in the day and stuff, or Zydrunas Ilgauskas or somewhat.
He was a stretch big who can knock outside
Yeah,
shots.
yeah. Or like I mean, Fairchild was not a stretch five. The guy was a energy big. Who else like that you and just LeBron play with? Chris Bosh was a. I've
Stretch
seen.
big.
Initially he was in the Pope, but he was also a finesse big too, because he could, he was kind of like that David Robinson.
Yeah. Hey.
Could hit the jumper, hit the occasional jumper, but
Yeah.
David Robinson could do much, much more than Bosh.
Yeah. So RJ Guap said, "I've seen Brown play with Shaq, Anderson Varejao, Timothy Mozgov, Joel Anthony, and Joel McGee.
Yeah,
Though
well,
your
let me
facts,
let
talking
me
about
let, hey,
Shaq.
hold on. Let me answer this, and I'm gonna let y'all go. I gotta attack this right there. Shaq was at the end of his career, RJ. He was not. I don't
yeah,
want to
it
hear
was,
that, man. He was way at the tail end of his career. Anderson Virgil was just a rebounder. He wasn't an offensive force. My guys was just a cleanup guy. Joel Anthony was a cleanup guy and a guy to set pick and rolls and get the
yeah,
occasion. McGee was a pick and roll type of guy. He wasn't a back to the basket to dominate the post. Go ahead and go, Lou.
There's a reason why LeBron cannot play well a dominant post guy
oh
because
my
that's
god,
going to clog up the lane for him to drive to the rim.
yeah,
There's a reason why when LeBron's career is over with, he's gonna be number one all time in points scored over Kareem Abdul-Jabbar
okay,
because he got most of his points came from driving to the rim and getting buckets. Am I
yeah,
am I wrong about that?
No, you're right.
no, you're true.
You got
You're
a
actually
good
true.
point.
Yeah, I mean, just over time and stuff, just LeBron. I mean, I mean,
Hey,
he
hey,
just
hey,
expanded his
RJ
game.
Guap, RJ Guap. Hey, what's the rule on this channel, Lou and Red Pill? Man, if you got a problem, man, come on in here and get that smoke, man. You
Redcon
know
one.
what I'm saying?
Oh,
You
is that a
already know how we get
pre-workout?
down, RJ Guap. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
You know how
hey,
we get
so
down. This the Lions Den, baby.
salute you on just Redcon one, man. Hey, that's a pre-workout actually on the market, actually, man. I can't believe he has a name like that, man. Hey,
Doesn't
salute
matter.
Red.
They are not stretch bigs. Well, see, see that when you got to be careful when you're talking about a definition of a stretch big. If okay, when you talk about
All right, I'll be back.
Joker, you know he's considered a stretch big because he can actually handle the rock and he can run the break. You know what I'm saying? Chris Bosh, he transformed his game into a stretch big.
I just tell them Polo jump in the water like James says. Oh,
Yeah,
James.
man, it's sink or swim around this bitch. Shout out to my nigga Nola Boy Sports, man. If you
Uh,
haven't subbed to his channel, sub to his channel.
oh,
It's sink or swim around this motherfucker, man. If you can't swim, then you ain't got no life jacket, you ain't got no floater. You know what I'm saying? Don't ask
And
for
Polo,
my
let me
nigga
ask you,
Lou Ryder to
and
help you.
Polo, and hold up, Polo. Let me ask you something. What happened when LeBron did not have two stretch bigs playing the center position?
Man, he was
He won the championship, right?
yeah.
He won the championship.
He went right. He went right. He went right there. That's a good point. That's facts.
yeah,
Hey
yeah.
Lou is hey Lou bodied you, RJ. I
So,
was hesitant on answering that question because I didn't want you to man close the casting, but man that closes the casting right there.
um, Redcon once said, Polo, tell them about,
Stojakovic, man, Stojakovic. Hey, let me ask y'all something. Okay, no, Red Pill. I'm glad you brought that up. Hey,
yeah,
and Lou, Stojakovic is a Hall of Famer in my book. If you're gonna put Tony, somebody like Tony Kukoc in there, you better put
yeah,
Pedro Stojakovic in there. He was leading the league in 3-point
Polo.
percentage for several years.
hey, he could shoot the rock, man. He could shoot,
Vladi Divac, yeah, Vladi
yeah,
Divac was an excellent passer. Him
yeah,
and Arvidas Sabonis, with the man, they were excellent
def-
court vision.
definitely. Ben Wallace in the Hall of Fame, right? He got like inducted to the Hall of Fame, right? Am I correct on that?
Hey,
No.
Polo, what do you think about your boy you played for New Jersey who died in that car accident? Who played the time with Jordan playing with him?
Wait,
Who?
what? Wait,
Oh,
what?
Drazen Petrovic.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jordan.
What do you
Yeah,
think
yeah,
about
yeah.
him as a
We
Hall of
were
Famer?
me and Red Pill were talking about him the other day. Yeah, Drazen.
Because
Drazen was
he had a great
nice.
career. He had a great career overseas before he came to America. Remember
Yeah,
that?
yeah. He was.
He was like the
I
Steph
like
Curry in
Drazen.
Europe. Hey, that dude was like the Steph Curry like in
He
Europe, or like,
he said Lou. Hey RJ, you said Lou didn't body you, man. Lou bodied you, man. I got to give it to Lou on that one. Now it's just a difference of opinion, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean RJ, but he's got a point. You know what I'm saying? Like when he didn't have any dominant big men or two guys that were
oh,
in there clogging up the paint like that. Hey, you got to think about it. They did go to two straight championships.
I mean, like just with like LeBron's team and stuff. Wait, I'll wait up. Kevin, like Bruce said, why did Frank Vogel did not give more minutes to just Montrezl Harrell? Don't forget Harrell was six man a year. I mean, like about that statement
Well,
stuff, Kevin. It's just like Montrezl Harrell, I mean, the guy's a great just offensive player. I mean, the guy just hustles his ass off. The problem is he's a liability on defense because I mean, like he's a 6'6" center. I mean, in Frank Vogel's system. I mean, but I feel like it's Frank Vogel and stuff. Wants just Gasol to get the minutes and stuff, like just like because of his playoff experience and also how he can space the floor and like like for size purposes and stuff, but yeah, I mean, Frank Vogel has some he has some like weird ass, just rotations, man. It's just unpredictable. I wish, just Montrez could stay with us for like, just one more season, but that's very, just unlikely. I feel like, he's probably gonna get a payday and, just opt out of the player option and probably go to Charlotte. Like you never know. I mean,
He may have lost that payday.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like just because of Frank Vogel, honestly, because I think he got DNP like a couple of games. I was like, yo, what the hell is this man doing? But it's just like Frank Vogel. I mean, he wants to like adjust to like the modern day, just NBA, because he doesn't want to put Trez at the four and Gasol at the five. I'm just like, because under slow foot and stuff, and like just NBA offenses can take advantage of them in the pick and roll or the pick and pop. I mean, Montrez is a above average defender in my opinion, but it's just like the guy reminds me of Kenneth Faried. That's how I see it right there, right? Montrez is a better version of
Yeah. But Manimal
Kenneth
was on
Faried.
a whole nother level, though.
Hey, on the real,
Yeah, I miss
y'all,
Manimal,
y'all
man.
want to know
That's my
something?
guy.
Montrez can shoot the rock, but he's not. That's not his job. He's not asked to do
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
yeah, he did
Yeah,
that at Louisville a little bit, didn't
yeah. He had the mid range, right? The guy had the mid range shot, like the 15-footer.
he? Yeah, he just man, he just lost it. Listen, I'm gonna tell you, when you're not motivated, to play
Yeah,
anymore, and
yeah,
you feeling the way that you feeling and stuff like that, man. I mean,
yeah,
it doesn't make you play that comfortable. Personally, I think all of them are ready to get up out of there.
yeah,
They knew, he should have known what the expectations was when you step up in LA and when you put that uniform on.
yeah.
Yeah, the Clippers is one thing, but when you put the Lakers uniform on, man, that's a whole
It,
nother beast right there.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure and stuff on like just his end. Yeah, I mean Montrez kind of like, I mean, he really like just effed up because he could have got a payday with Charlotte, man. Like that payday hey, that payday looks nice. I'm not gonna lie, man. He could just retire just off that money. I mean, I think the payday was between like 70 to like just 80 million for like a 4 year span, and also like there's an endorsements top on that too, so that's probably like another 4 to 5 million. I don't know, but I
Hey
don't know the
guys,
pro.
Hey guys, I'll be back. I gotta go clock out.
All right,
Okay, that's
Go
cool.
home.
You all right, man?
and no
You
worries.
welcome anytime, bro.
Yeah,
Listen,
but
man. No matter. Well, he took a pay cut. He took
yeah,
a pay cut, and then also, of course, he took to some degree a lesser role. But see, the thing about Montrez, well, he wasn't even all that mentally there. See, the guys think that Montrez is in his 30s or in his mid 30s and stuff like that. The guy is still only 24, 25 years old.
he's in his mid
You know what I'm
twenties.
saying? So
Yeah,
he's still young and still got a lot of growing up to do,
yeah,
maturity wise. You know what I'm saying? A
yeah,
lot of these guys, you got to realize that when the superstar comes in, unfortunately, you have to cater to their needs.
yeah,
Whatever they say that they want, that's what you have to fall in line. And if not, who
yeah,
you think is going to be first to go? It's going to be
yeah.
you. It's not going to be LeBron because LeBron
Hey, but
already
Polo,
seen. LeBron has
hey,
spent
but
the
Polo,
18 years there.
yeah, hey, but Polo. But I mean, like, if you like, just see what happened to Kenneth Farid and stuff. The guy's not in the NBA anymore, and he plays the same way like just Montrezl Harrell. But I felt just Montrezl, just Harrell is a better just offensive player than Kenneth Farid in my opinion. But I hope
Nah,
just I hope you
I gotta disagree on that.
really.
You gotta remember, Manimal
Yeah,
could actually handle the rock. Manimal
like,
could actually do a little decent crossover and face up and
okay,
actually take you to the rack. I mean, Manimal was more than just a offensive offensive rebounding juggernaut and just grab
yeah,
boards and clean up and stuff like that.
yeah,
He could
yeah.
actually create his own shot when he was over there in Denver.
Oh
So
shit.
Manimal, man, he could do, to me, he could do a lot. He could do a lot more than Montrezl. But I do understand the similarity
Yeah, that's
and the
very similar.
comparison,
Yeah,
But
man.
I don't know. That's just me. Maybe you watched a little bit more of Herrera than you did
Nah, I
Manimal.
did. I mean, like, just yeah. Yeah. I mean, growing up and stuff, I watched like a bunch of guys, to like,
Uh
just
huh.
like, like, just improve my my skill set and stuff. Because I was like a undersized four man myself, 4/5 man. I mean, I watched like a bunch of guys like just Rodman, Reggie Evans, Montrezl Harrell, Kenneth Free was one also, and I watched a bit, just Moses Malone too. I don't know why. I don't know. I like
Yeah,
that. Like,
Moses Malone falls right in that category. You're right, Red
yeah,
Pill. Moses
I
Malone was
like.
a he
Yeah,
he he
yeah,
he,
yeah.
he would throw the ball up
Yeah.
on the rack just to get a rebound and then get it back, tap up again, then get it again, then get it again. You know, think about it. You do that 5 times in one possession, that's 5 rebounds.
Yeah, yeah, but still
You know,
I
so,
mean, yeah, but still the field goal percentage. I mean, like your shit's gonna go down a lot. But hey, at least you're getting the rebounds. I mean, that's all that matters, I guess. I mean, like your
yeah.
stat. I mean, like your stat padding somewhat. But hey, I mean, if you get 20 rebounds, I mean, that's why you're
But, I
Andre
mean, it's hard
Drummond
to do.
does.
It was hard to do that in Atlanta Giants like that. And when they were playing so physical, you got elbows flying at you, you got people poking you in your ribs, you got people trying to
Yeah,
undercut you, take your feet
yeah,
out, and all that other stuff. So to sit up there and say that we, you know, these guys are step patting when it comes to rebound and stuff like that, man. Dennis Rodman, he fought for almost every single
yeah,
rebound that there
yeah,
was. You
man.
know, sometimes tapping the ball to himself, tapping it, and then
Yeah,
sometimes he would just have to say, you know what, I got to tap it right in bounds and fall into the
yeah, yeah.
instead of go ahead and get
Yeah.
a little popcorn and get back up and run.
Yeah, I think Andre Drummond does the same thing too. I remember him back in the day and stuff on his like his like just early to mid Detroit days and stuff. Hey, that dude was pissing me off. So I'm like, bro, just just put it in the basket, just off the rebound and stuff. But man, that dude just that dude just kept just tipping back and forth. I was like, man, I couldn't stand that dude. But I got like just respect his just rebounding prowess and stuff. They said,
They said Dennis was
oh, I
stat
didn't
padding.
say that.
Nah,
No,
nah, he
I didn't
was
say that, man. Nah, he
he
wasn't.
was he wasn't stat padding, man. It was that was all heart, grit,
Yeah.
know how, and timing. That's another thing, timing. Like what's his name? The Charlo brother said. I don't know if you keep up with boxing, Red Pill, but this is what Jamel Charlo said. He said timing is everything. Timing is everything. Who is the
Yeah.
worst NBA commentator
Oh
of all time? Who do you think is the worst commentator of all time, Red Pill?
um, I'm man. That's a good question. Hey,
Don't
man,
say
that's a
Chris
good.
Webber. I know you about to say Chris Webber.
Nah, nah. I think it's more like I don't know. Who's that guy? The the Van Gundy brother. I forgot his name. The Van Gundy brother. Is it Jeff Van Gundy, right?
No, you know, Jeff Van Gundy, you know, sometimes he could be a little kind of,
Yeah.
you know,
He
but
used to. Yeah.
I wouldn't put him as work because
Um.
he actually knows his basketball and he knows how to keep up and commentate just a little bit. But
Man.
you know, sometimes it takes me. You be like, man, Jeff, man, just shut your
Yeah.
ass up.
Uh. I don't know, man. That's a good question. I
He
mean,
said, hold on one second. Jaron said Jordan did it at 35 years old, 6-0 run, closed the game. Scottie Pippen had back injury too.
and
10 scoring times, MJ go. Well, see, a lot of people got to realize you know this too, Red Pill. It was just Jordan and Rodman that last stretch
yeah,
because
yeah,
Pippen was struggling or whatever, and they had to do it for X amount of games. That's what I'm saying. Dennis Rodman, for people to sit up there and say that Dennis Rodman could never be on his
yeah.
best behavior and all that other stuff, man, that's asinine. When Dennis Rodman wants to pipe down and get focused and do what he needs to do, he'll do that. Never mind the women. Never mind the cigar smoking. Never mind the drug use. Never mind him doing all this other stuff. Dennis Rodman was a survivor. He was an athleticism. I'll take Dennis Rodman on my team any day. That's what I'm saying. And it's not just
Yeah,
because of the offense. I don't need you to score. Just like with what's it called? Certain people on my squad. I don't need you to score. Man, just be there in position, play your role, and do everything right. We have scorers.
yeah.
We have specialists. We have people that can dive on the floor and get it done. We have people that know their role and just do what's necessary for the
Yeah,
betterment of the team.
yeah. I mean, um, Rodman was just just overall just animal. I remember just going on just Reddit and stuff, and trying to find his his techniques and tips, and all they put on the Reddit was just condition your ass off, and that's all they put on the Reddit, and also just go get the fucking ball. You know what I'm saying? Go get the fucking ball. You're just off the glass.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Jared said MJ is the GOAT. LeBron lost 6 times in the finals in his prime at 36. LeBron
Yeah,
gives up. Ha ha ha! This generation of basketball glass bodies. The Lakers in the first round defended
yeah.
championship
Oh my
run.
god. Hey
Well,
man, uh,
what's your take on that, Red Pill?
I mean, like, well, I mean, that's your opinion, Jaren and stuff. But like, for the Lakers on the season stuff, I mean, our season stuff was, it was screwed up by, just injuries and also COVID protocol and stuff. But I mean, at the like end of the day, man, there's, just there's no excuses. So I mean, I'm not gonna like, judge LeBron and stuff. It's just like, the Lakers team. I mean, this year, they struggle with team chemistry and like, just injuries. Just countless number of, just injuries, man. I mean, like we literally had um like a like, just AD at probably like 70 or 80%, and like just LeBron at probably like 70 or like, just 80%. But that's no excuses. So I'm not gonna give anybody like excuses or a pass.
It says, yeah, Pip was done. Pip was done in that series. His back was gone basically. And see, that's another thing. Guys like, my man South Solitical and everything that love to hoist these other guys above other players and stuff like that. Sometimes, man, we also got to take into account what the chips or what they were dealt with. You know what I'm saying? You had a guy that was, he didn't make no excuses. Pippen was out. He still had Rodman. Still had to go throughout the stretch of the games and perform. Still had to get Rodman right. Make sure that he was good. Fly him out to LA, fly him out to Vegas, get him his drinks, get him his cigars, get him back to the game. And what was he gonna get? He was never less than 20 rebounds. Sometimes he had 15, but that's still solid. And today in the plus or minus era, guess who's winning? Guess who's winning? It's guys like Batum. He leads the NBA in plus 18 rating. You feel me? So that's what Rodman used to do. Nothing less than scoring, not putting up all these points and stuff like that. What he did was diving on the floor, getting the rebound, locking up his men. That's why everybody would easily take him.
Yeah, yeah. Rodman stuff was like, just one of the most conditioned guys in the '90s, man. Like that dude was throwing his body around. He was fucking chasing down mofo's. He was freaking chasing down dudes and stuff. He was, just guarding the 1 through 5. He was guarding like 94 feet if like, just needed. And man, like that dude was a conditioning freak. I know his, just athleticism was, it wasn't like Dominic, just Wilkins level and stuff, but just what he did is that, he like outworked people for a living. That dude had like a crazy, just work ethic in the gym. I mean, I read a couple, just news articles and stuff, and they were saying that that dude used to go on the stairmaster and just after the games for like an hour, or like, go cycling for like, just hours on end. So that shows
Right.
he's
Or
very
even, listen, this is my thing, South
yeah,
Solitical and
yeah,
Red Pill.
yeah, yeah,
Listen,
yeah,
after that game that the Lakers had lost, you know what Kobe would have been? He would have been like, he would have stayed on the floor, hoisting up jumpers because he was so mad. MJ would have been, right there. Maybe if he messed up on his free throw, just having the trainer just feed him, free throw shots because he was so mad. Not walking off of the floor with 5 minutes left to go. Don't we
yeah,
teach sportsmanship? If you have a son, don't you preach, or a daughter, don't you preach to them sportsmanship? Look, I felt the way he felt, but that right there, that puts a whole type of a different mentality into your team. Like, man, what? It sounds
yeah,
political. How'd you like it if I walked to the locker room with 5 minutes left to go in the game? How would you
yeah.
feel?
I
Oh, in
mean,
the
like,
locker room, South Solitical,
yeah,
he gonna be like, "What, nigga? You walk out off the game and stuff. You supposed to be my brother."
yeah.
And if you don't
I
feel that way that you
I'm
feel, then
driving.
I don't want you playing on the court with me.
Yeah, I
I'm
think like,
driving.
yeah. All right, go ahead.
Let me talk.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hold on. Y'all continue, cause I'm behind the police. Y'all continue.
I thought you was getting your hair cut, man.
Yeah, I
Oh
just got
shit.
to cut. I'm
Man,
leaving
I thought
now.
you were getting lined up, man.
Man, I'm just leaving,
Yeah.
man. But y'all continue, cause I'm behind the police.
All right.
All right, man. Bet. Yeah. Yeah, but with like, just LeBron and stuff, you know, I saw that shit where, he, just walked to the locker room and stuff after like, just 5 minutes. I mean, in the fourth quarter and stuff. I mean, I can just feel his frustration and stuff, but I mean, it's just like that just. I mean, from like just what I saw, that shows that he has a loser mentality. I mean, bro, I mean, if you're like just getting paid like at least 40 million a year and stuff, like to play your game and stuff, I would have stayed in there too and try my best to win the game or trim down the lead at least, but I mean, like, I feel like just LeBron is probably, he's frustrated and stuff with this overall season stuff, and he's probably gonna be smoking a cigar, drinking a wine in the off season, just just resting up, and just hopefully
Hold on, you keep on cooking, Red Pill. Hold on 1 minute.
yeah um yeah, but with like just LeBron and stuff, I mean, like, injuries can, like, really, like, just mess you up, just mentally. But yeah, LeBron, I mean, hey, all you have to do is just rest up and tell like AD and stuff to get a good strength and conditioning coach, man, because that dude frail as shit, bro. Hey, that dude frail like water, man. And that dude frail like shit, bro. Like, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Yeah.
You saying who's frail?
Anthony Davis.
Somebody with Anthony Davis. Oh, okay.
Hey, man, it's just like, he's a good player and stuff. It's just like, I feel like his landings and stuff are kind of like affecting his game. Like, have you noticed that? I mean, like, how he
No,
lands and stuff.
he
Yeah.
didn't even get in the weight room. And
Yeah.
and it's the thing about it, the like with this season being condensed
Yeah.
because of how it overlapped because of the pandemic. He never did recover. They probably should have set him out early in the season.
Yeah.
And then with LeBron suffered a football injury. It wasn't even a basketball injury; it was a football injury. So
Yeah.
30, to be at 36 suffer a football injury, and see the lack of
It's still
mobility and explosiveness that he still has, even though he doesn't have his late mid-20s, of course. That played effect on things. I don't agree with him leaving the game at the 5 minutes, but a lot of people could say he left it early to get treatment. Who really knows?
Yeah.
Like, they
Yeah.
were getting blew out
Yeah.
30 points in the game. The game was over with. He left early.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not an excuse for it. You can look at it. I don't really care how people look at it. It's a lot of stuff. The
Yeah.
problem I have is people nitpick. People nitpick what they want to focus in on their favorite players, but they don't hold that same energy to the play.
Oh yeah, definitely for sure, my man.
That's my opinion, but still but you know what? Other people, great players, have done that too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And all this quitting, I've never made a case of players quitting, even players that I don't even have the most interest of. I still try to respect players and what they've done.
Yes, sir.
I'm
Yeah.
not a big Kobe fan. I think he's one of the top 10 players of all time. I
Yes,
can't
yeah.
take that away from him, but I respect what he's done in the game. He's one of the best players to ever play it. I'm not gonna sit here and nitpick personal life and this and that, like, because
Yeah.
I don't,
Yeah,
you
definitely.
know, what I'm saying. I just don't get stuff like that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
But
yeah. Yeah.
to stay on topic with that, you can look at it as like he left and quit early, but who knows, man? I've never made those
Yeah.
cases. I just don't like. How do you know a player quit? You don't know what's going on. The
Yeah.
training staff told him to go back. You know what I'm saying, to get treatment. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know and stuff, so I'm not gonna say too much on it. But yeah, it's just like I feel like just LeBron, like he's probably getting some treatment stuff on on the ankle sprain and stuff, and there's probably a lot of just other things going on that like we don't know. I mean, like we can't judge a book by its cover, right? Like yeah, but
Nobody said, nobody said nothing if a player lead a game, they beat the team by 30 and he leave it at half. Like, only when you losing it, I just don't buy into a lot of these narratives, and people just like to
yeah,
use them when they
definitely.
fit their own opinions. They disdain for a player. I
Yeah,
just
I
think
mean,
if a player, your,
oh yeah.
your favorite player has position, situations just like this, you just don't care to remember them, acknowledge them. And,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I lost. Well, I mean, in like a high school game and stuff when I was a freshman. I mean, I lost the game by 45, dog, and I was so butthurt and stuff. But at the just end of the day and stuff, I had to shake the hands, like with the other like opponents and stuff, because they were like a private school league and they had a bunch of holdbacks, you know, you know a bunch of sophomores, that
I,
were like
now,
just reclassed
I
and
will say
stuff.
this.
So
I will say this to criticize LeBron. LeBron at the end of game six, he should have stayed in the game. I don't agree with that. That's bad sportsmanship. And he's been known to do stuff like that. I don't agree with that. I'm not making no excuses for that. You know, he should have done that. You know, no excuse. But everybody act like everybody act like their favorite player is just perfect. Like this whole analogy that nobody won when Jordan played, man, Jordan played more than 6 years. He played more than 6 years. So it's other teams that won championships. From my understanding, you have at any point, at any point, every team that's competing is trying to compete for a championship, if not majority of them. So every year that Jordan played, every year that Jordan played, the team was trying to put a team together to win the championship. And if they're not, okay, what are they really doing? So we need to quit this. The only person that could truly really have, the only person that really could have, you could start an argument is nobody really won in his when he on his watch is Bill Russell. Bill Russell won 11 chips in 13 seasons of playing basketball. So
yeah,
if you want to start that argument, start that with Bill Russell. It don't start with Michael Jordan.
hey, my man. But I have a yeah, but about the Lakers, just off season stuff. But what do you think the Lakers have to just work on in your opinion, who are, who are they gonna trade for? Like, I mean, like, I feel like like the realistic just options is to just ship out Kuzma to probably like Detroit and get Jeremy Grant, or the Sacramento Kings for Buddy Hield. How do you feel about those?
I don't know if Kuzma have that type of market value, but
Yeah, I don't
but
know, man. Like the Lakers are in a tough boat right now, man. Yeah,
I mean, I think I don't know who they should get. I just know one thing: they have to get guards that complement LeBron and AD's game, and Schroeder wasn't. Schroeder wasn't. I
he's
mean,
not that good.
maybe not
Yeah,
being a starting point guard. Shooter's number one. He's not really a point guard. He's not really a point guard. He's a six man. He's a
yeah,
six man that come in, and six man don't have the mentality of a starting point guard. It's two totally different positions. You're a player that normally come in off the bench with the second team, or more or less, and you just really focus on scoring, and you might play make a little bit, but your main objective is just come in to be that second, the third scoring option off the bench. That's what you drive that to come to a team and to be asked to be a starting point guard and facilitate and run sets. And really be honest with you, we know LeBron is pretty much for the most part the point guard through the whole game. And then
yeah,
to try to be a secondary point guard, I just don't think it was good. It wasn't a good
yeah.
and like I think I told Polo and on Price. I
Yeah,
think some of the biggest failures in LeBron's career shows how much the expectations because the Lakers felt like they could flush out players and bring in a couple of more pieces. And LeBron led team will make it work because they've seen LeBron do stuff like this. Take different type of players and make it work and have a success because he's done it with different organizations. But LeBron's 36 now, and
yeah,
he's not the same player. He's not 20. He's not in his 20s no more. You know.
yeah, yeah. But regarding your statement and stuff, I feel like good like acquisitions for the Lakers in the off seasons could be like Nerlens Noel or T.J. McConnell type of player. I
I,
mean,
I like the TJ McCullough. I actually like that.
yeah, he's
But
a
people keep talking about it.
yeah, cause I feel like the Lakers are gonna like just make some sneaky ass moves. I don't know, cause I have a feeling they're gonna just look into the guys that we don't know, like a guy like a TJ McConnell, Nerlens Noel, or like maybe like a Wayne like Ellington type of player. I don't know, man. The Lakers have a lot of options on the market and stuff, but the problem is, are they gonna sign a Trey Schroeder? I mean, that's the problem. I mean, I don't know, man. If the Lakers gonna sign a Trey Schroeder, I know for sure they're gonna ship out Kuzma somewhere, man. Like they're probably gonna ship him out to I don't know, maybe um Siberia or like just Russia. I don't know, man. Siberia, Russia,
Come on.
on the Middle East, man.
Hey, sounds political. You talking about they were going to ship him to Shanghai.
Hey, man.
This is what I want to say before I left to get my cut.
Oh, you
Is
about to bounce?
no. I'm talking about earlier before I got off when I got my
Oh
haircut.
yeah,
Look. Yeah, I asked you if you got a haircut and lined up, motherfucker. You didn't want to say shit.
No, I did, but I see the police in front. I like let me put this phone down because my Bluetooth don't work in StreamYard.
Yeah, right, man. You probably had to put the gun in the back, man. Come on, man. I'm fucking with
uh,
you.
yeah,
But now let me
I'm
say
fucking
this,
with you,
man.
Sal, man. Go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah, yeah.
Let me
Go ahead,
say
man.
I wanted to add this with Kuzma. When you watch Kuzma play, he's been what in the league 4 or 5 years now. He
Yeah,
looks like a player. He looks like a player that hasn't watched film and tried to improve his game. How can you
I
be just when you watch him? He looks like a rookie out there, like he just entering the league his first
man,
year. That's how you
hey,
know he's not watching film, trying to improve all aspects of his game.
yes,
Whether
sir.
you whether you lost confidence about your role, all that, I understand that. But
Yeah,
within even if you were in a ideal better situation that you felt you were in a in another somewhere else, you still should be improving your games in other aspects. You should be
yeah,
improving your game in other, and he's not. He don't look like a player that's trying to improve his game.
yeah. I mean, like just what I see from Kuzma and stuff. The guy is uh a typical, just LA fuck boy in my opinion, man. Like that's how I see it, man. Like I feel like
I think
popularity kind of
it's
like
more things important to him. He plays like it's more things important to him than basketball.
yeah, oh yeah, for real. I mean, like the guy's a fashion model on his just IG, man. I mean, the guy's been just posting some drip of his like I don't know his styles and stuff. I'm just like, man, you gotta focus on basketball, man. I'm not trying to be a dick to Kuzma, but I'm just like, bro, like you gotta work on your aspects, like your IQ specifically, because his IQ level is probably rookie like right now. It's probably on his rookie like, man, and um yeah. Kuzma's not that bad. It's just like he doesn't have the work ethic, and also he might he might need to start on the new team. I mean, hey, they might have to ship him out to OKC, man. I mean, I don't know what team's gonna take his contract because he has no value in the
Well,
market.
well, man, I gotta part ways on both of y'all on that. Now, look,
Yeah.
He was doing that because and to answer your question, South, he's been in the league 4 years. Okay, and the reason why I know that is because the first year he averaged 16.1. Second year averaged 18.7. Then went down to 12.9. Then this year he's at 12.3. Okay,
Yeah.
now look, the thing about it is that he uh he was working like that second year, South. He was really looking to transition his game. He was really looking to turn that corner. But I think what happened because that he was in the gym more than the Lakers players was going into that third year. But then after that, I think his work ethic kind of took a slip because he saw the way things were going. He saw he wasn't going to be that main guy, and mentally he was just shot, and he never quite recovered. And then when they
Yeah.
tried to give him the keys again, he couldn't quite. South. He was just like, you know what, man, skip all this. I don't even care no more. But no, I agree with you, South. He should have right then and there. If you talking about you want to be that main guy, or you so mad and you pouting and all this other stuff, then you're supposed to show people, okay, hey, look, I'm here for a reason. And Kyle Kuzma, man, I feel like he is talented. I would like him to go to like a team where he could flex his muscle a little bit. Not no Shanghai or overseas and none of that stuff. Let's cut it
All
out,
right.
man.
All right. Sorry, bro. Yeah, that
I,
was
I
just
don't, I
kind
don't
of
see
like a.
I don't see him being any piece of a team trying to make a championship run. I just don't see it.
He's like a run and gun type of player. I don't know. I just see him as like I'm a guy to put up like at least 15 to 20 shots a game and get like maybe 20 to 25 points. That's how I see it from Kuzma. I don't know
No,
if you.
I feel like if he go to like a team where he plays system ball, see a lot of people were throwing the Spurs out there. If he was to be with like the Spurs and revamp his career a little bit, or even go like Golden State, you know what I'm saying, or somewhere
Oh
like that
yeah,
where he's in a flow offense or something like that, he'll be
yeah,
fine. Everybody touches the ball, then he'll be fine. But you got to realize that the ball wasn't really moving that much as we like to see in LA. At least not that first year. That ball was sticking, man.
yeah,
LeBron,
definitely.
he tried to play off the ball for a little bit, but guess what? He reverted back to going to the point guard again.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like the Lakers, just offense is really predictable and stuff. I mean, I know this while just watching the games. Either they give the ball to like just LeBron and he does his just ISO, just 1-on-1, drives to the paint, or they're gonna give it to like just Anthony Davis for the fadeaway. I mean, like they're or they're gonna just give it to Schroeder and he's gonna take it to the Cubs and. Yeah, I mean, like the Lakers, just offensive
Yeah,
schemes this year have been just very subpar, and I feel like like the the like just improvements Vogel has to make is just implement more like just offensive schemes that are maybe European based, because I know for a fact a lot of those European like offenses like to run the high pick and roll like the double screen and stuff because I used to watch a lot of film and stuff on it. So I mean, I don't
Let me
know.
no, let me say this. The thing about when you look at it, Kuzma had a chance to for him to regain some stock value when you had AD and LeBron out, and they put him
Yeah,
in the starting, and
yeah,
they put him
facts.
in the starting lineup, bro, and he still played bad.
Yeah, you
man.
He
facts.
had
I
like
agree
one
with
or
you.
two good games, but it's
Yeah,
just like I think he's at a point of his. I think him being in his fourth season and all that, and I guess he's gotten some kind of celebrityism. I don't think basketball is that important to him, man. I really don't. Just watching him play, he hasn't
yeah,
matured. He, his knowledge of the game hasn't matured. He just looks like a rookie player after a loss when he plays. He don't know when to take a shot. He don't. He takes very few good shots, and it's
yeah,
just like, what are you doing? I
yeah.
don't. That's what I look. When he got in the game, I used to hold my breath because I didn't know if he was gonna throw a bad pass.
Damn, man.
Yeah,
I'm
I
for
feel the
real.
same way too,
That
man.
I
nigga,
didn't know if he
that
gonna
nigga
turn the
sounds
ball over.
political, man. He fucking around.
Go
And
watch
that
the game though.
and
He's
that
You
dude
watch
on
Kuz
him, man.
and that dude
game.
Kuzma
Oh,
gives me like high blood pressure, man. I can't. I don't know,
oh
man. It's just
man, y'all are killing this dude, man.
He been that
no,
guy.
he does
Golly.
though. No, he
All right,
does.
let me read some of these comments. Jaron, y'all probably read them, but I need to go through them in
Yeah.
the see. MJ,
Um.
Kobe Bryant, MJ, natural born killer, skill feared by nearly everyone. You know, actually, I can actually disagree just a little bit on that. There were players that wanted to actually play against them and didn't fear them, but they just got that work. I thought Kobe was going to the Lakers president after he retired. Man, some speculation in that, but he was really focused on the Mamba Academy, and he was also focused on the Mamba shoe. He wanted to actually make the Mamba shoe its own entity, much like Jordan made its own entity
Yeah.
outside of that, make it more of a household name. Kobe Bryant won back-to-back championships without Shaquille O'Neal in his 30s. When Shaquille O'Neal left, everyone amused uh, Kobe couldn't do it, and I think he meant accused.
Yeah.
And he did it with his injuries too. Yeah, he did. That's facts.
Yeah. Kobe
Brian
fought through that shit.
Brian in his 18 year, what more do y'all want from him? Man, listen, I don't want anything more than LeBron than what he's been doing or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's phenomenal. I think it's phenomenal that a guy 18 years in can still do what he does. Jordan fans only count 91 through 98. That's not true, RJ Guap. I
That
actually like Jordan. I
you
actually like
do.
Jordan in the 80s better than I did Jordan in the 90s because he became more of a volume shooter. Jaren, Jaren said after LeBron got blown out in his press conference, he's talking about Space Jam 2, which we all know is going to flop. Try man, that had no bearing on basketball. LeBron James probably going to another super team because he needs to help Kobe and Jordan, and didn't do that when they lost. I don't even think he cares about that type of thing, Jaren. I'm gonna just be honest with you. All the teams say that LeBron made made better. Where are they? Lakers ain't waiting no more championship. Uh, I don't know about that, man. The Lakers can definitely rebound. They just got a clean house. What you think about that, South? I
Didn't
got
they
to
say?
stop on
Didn't
that.
they say? Didn't they say the Lakers? The LeBron when LeBron was leaving to go to the Lakers, they said he was done. He wasn't even trying to compete no more. You remember all those?
Exactly. Yeah.
They said from the Stephen A's and all that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
The
It's like, man,
magazine
I
meeting.
said it earlier. People want a caveat for their favorite players, but they don't use that same energy. Like Jordan fans want to say, did nobody win in Jordan time? But why don't nobody make this argument for Bill Russell when he won 11 out of the 13 seasons he played in the NBA? Who got a better dominant career than that? You know what I'm saying? Why this
Yeah.
conversation doesn't start with Bill Russell? You know
I
what I'm
mean,
saying?
well, it's like what you said earlier. As much as I have an admiration and a respect for Bill Russell, I think more people have had consumed watching an entertaining brand of basketball. I mean, at least for that time. And me and you, what do we know? We know some of the '80s. We definitely know the '90s, and we definitely know all of the 2000s, right?
Yeah.
So in your eye, you know what I'm saying. When you looked at it, and from what you consume, who would you say? But if we go back and we look at the film and we look at black and white and stuff like that, you know, the guys that were living back then or something like that, they might would have said Will Chamberlain or something like that. I can't sit there and go back and look at that film and judge on that. I can only judge from what I have seen or what
I
South
only keep,
Political has seen.
I only keep bringing up this point because you know at some point I felt like Jordan was the GOAT for some of these reasons that people bring up. But I said, you know what? Let me just do my due diligence. You know what I'm saying? And just, dig a little bit more. And then that's not to just say it would change my opinion, but it could let me put more into consideration. Like, how can I sit here and just only talk about a player winning 6 for 6 when you got players that won, great players that won more than that? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just do your due diligence. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you definitely do. Michael Jordan played 82 games, didn't miss a single game when he lost to Detroit, the bad boy Pistons. Did he join the super team? Look, that's true, Darren. And this is another thing too. I, you know, I don't want to sit here and okay, yes, did he create a super team? Yeah, yeah, he did. But
This is
you
the
know,
thing about the super team concept. I'm willing to I'm willing to I'm willing to agree with the concept of a super team if it makes sense. But I don't think the Heat was a super team. And this is my number one point. If the Heat was so much of a super team, LeBron would not have to put up MVP type of production for them to be competitive. And I felt that way before it happened because when it first happened, I still like LeBron. I was like, dang, that's a pretty nice team. LeBron's not gonna have to produce like he had to do in Cleveland. That was my first thought, but that wasn't the case. LeBron still had to be an MVP caliber player and put up, record phenomenal numbers in the playoffs for that team to compete. So then, after 2 or 3 years in, I'm like, man, this is not a super team. If you telling me, let me say, I don't for people who work or whatever they do, whatever you do, it don't matter. But if you a professional at what you do, and you saying we're gonna bring in players, or we're gonna bring in workers or other professionals just as good as you, whether you are a private contractor, whatever you is, and you still having to produce at the same level, you're gonna look around like, hold on, I'm supposed to have better. I'm supposed to have a super team or whatever you analogy you want to put to that. And the Heat was not a super team because LeBron would have been able to win producing less with less production. That's the only problem I have with that. And the Heat wasn't even they were a sub 500 team when he didn't play. I mean, you don't have to agree with that, Polo, but that's my opinion on it. Don't tell, I was willing to go with the narrative if LeBron was able to produce and just be a regular all-star player, but he still had to be an MVP top player in the league, and he won 2 MVPs with the Heat.
Right. What?
So I mean, get this super team thing. I feel like if you're a great player, you go to super team, you shouldn't have to produce the same amount, and you still had some of the same narrative when you got in the playoffs where nobody helping LeBron. You know what I'm saying? Nobody stepping up. And those last 3 years in Miami, Wade was out of his prime. He was declining. He was injured here and there. He just wasn't the same way. And then in the finals in 2014, he only averaged 14 points, along with Bosh averaging less than that. I'm like, how's that a super team?
Well, I mean, the initial
The
team
initial
that they had.
concept, I agree with it, but it turned out the results it wasn't really a super team to me.
Right, but they they were expected to win pretty much every year.
Oh,
Uh,
that's
and
that's
then
wrong.
and then
That's wrong.
also,
Hold on.
huh?
They were picked to win in 2011, but they were underdogs in all the rest of the finals.
No, they
Except
was
for
no, they were always favored. They
no,
were gonna
they were
because
not favored.
they were perennial all stars when they came in
We can pull this up. They were not favored against OKC. They were not
against
favored against.
who?
Actually, you know what? They might have been favored the first year against the last year against the first. They were
Against
favored.
Dallas, against those first
They were
against
favored
Dallas,
against Dallas.
they
They
were
weren't favored
favored.
against OKC. Yeah, I agree with you. It was only two. It was only two series they were favored. The Heats were favored. The 20,
Right,
2011 and the 2013.
right. That last year when they went up against when they lost that one, they
They
weren't
weren't
favored.
favored. Yeah. And those are actually the only final series that the LeBron team was favored in the finals, other than the Heat. The Heat as well. The Heat from the bubble, they were favored there, of course. And that's
Right.
probably the least incomparable team he played in the finals with that Heat team.
I this is my thing. Let me give my take on the whole super team thing. You see, Has there been, super teams in the course of history? Yes, absolutely, there has been. But I think, you know, when we look at, the flexibility of free agencies and, players having, the freedom to choose where they want to go without there being a whole bunch of riffraff and stuff like that. I think it got out of hand when they started doing that. Now everybody wants to talk about one of the most famous ones, South Political, when they talk about the Boston one, when KG and Ray Allen they joined, Paul Pierce. But however, that situation, what I have to tell people, that situation was a little different. All of those guys weren't at
I
their
gotta ask you this:
peaks, huh?
what is a super team? A super team only when players decide to come together, or the super team is it only when players decide to come together, or can a super team still be when the organization package players and put players together? Because
No, well, the super team to me, well, it can be like, okay, let's talk about the homegrown. I like to call it homegrown, but when they develop, like, okay, the situation with Golden State, okay, like that just turned into and evolved into a powerhouse. I consider that last team, that was with Durant. Yeah, that was definitely a super team. But then they evolved into the Splash Brothers and stuff like that, and there was nothing that they could do with that offense and stuff like that. That was homegrown. That to me, that's how you develop. And it's the same thing with the Celtics back in the day. Not the KG Celtics. I'm talking about with Parrish, McHale, and Bird and Dennis
yeah,
Johnson, all them guys. You know what I'm saying? That was homegrown.
see
But
the
people consider that a super team. They consider the Lakers like a super team, but they drafted, they traded for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He was there first. Then they got Magic Johnson. Then they started adding on, different pieces. The Coopers and the McAdoo's and all these other guys that was on there.
only reason I ask that question is because it seems like people only want to use this super team term when it's a team they don't really like. You know what I mean?
So, yeah,
That's
okay, RJ Watt. We know that we know whose side you're on, man. I understand what you're saying, and that's facts, and that's why I bring them on here. But the one thing that you can't continue to do, RJ Watt, is you can't continue to say you can't be biased on this channel. You know what I'm saying? It ain't. That's why South Political. I got him on here because he's not biased by the little. Me, neither am I.
all players are worthy of criticism at the same on the same scale. Even my favorite players, that's how I am. But all these people like they say, I know this stigma around Jordan being feared, and it has some validity to it. But how can you say the league didn't fear LeBron? Do you, I mean, you can make an argument that the Boston team coming together was a byproduct of LeBron going to the finals and seeing a young player at 22 going to the finals and getting over that the Detroit team at the end of their run. You see what I'm saying? You can make
Right?
an argument for that. I don't really
No.
go with all that, but the same people that'll say people fear Jordan, they not going to be like, oh, they going to like, how can you not say that?
RJ Guap, nobody calling you Guap. I mean, nobody calling you biased. I'm saying if you are, if anybody, I'm talking. That was the. Let me rephrase that. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want you to take it out of context. I'm talking about anybody. Like, okay, like South Political. You might have a favorite player, but he still carved it down the middle. Me, I have a favorite player. I think. Hey, I put it to you like this. I like Michael Jordan, but I felt that Hakeem Olajuwon was way more skilled than Michael Jordan. Some people might argue with me that I have Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson, he's considered the greatest point guard, but I have Isaiah Thomas is better than him. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit there and just jump on the train. That's what I mean. RJ, go ahead. My bad, South Political. You got it.
Now you good. All I'm just saying, keep the same energy with your favorite players, the players you hate, and still have respect for the players game that you really don't like. I'm not gonna come on here. I'm not a big Kobe fan like that, but I respect what he done, especially off the court as well. You know,
You
I
know
love what he done off the court as a father. Huh?
the one thing that I'm sorry, I mean to cut you off, man. The one thing that I like Kobe, it had nothing to do with him playing in the game. Believe it or not, you know what? The one reason why I like Kobe, and this has nothing to do with him, playing in the game or anything like that, or making flamboyant dunks and all that stuff. It was his
Yeah,
work ethic that I respected. That's
yeah,
why that's the one reason why I like Kobe. Yeah, the championships that's okay, and the rings and finals and all that other stuff. Yeah, that's great. But I like the fact that he was he put his work in. He
yeah.
put his work in. He was a grinder.
And Kobe was fearless, man. He was a fearless player. You
Right.
know, the same thing that made him great. I think the same thing that made him great is the same thing that led to some of his epic fails, just like other great players. All great players had epic fails. You know, it's just the Jordan lovers. They act like Jordan never failed and all this, and he never the team never beat him. I don't be getting this. Every great player lost. Had to go through this process of you know of learning how to win. It's only few. It's the only person you might can make that case for is like Magic. Magic came in winning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All every that's why I harp on this archetype of great player. If you don't have a career like this player, you're not considered great. When all players were great in their own way, I'm big on that, bro. That's why I harp on this. Everybody try to make whether it's not even a great player we know now, whether it's another player that comes 10, you know what I'm saying, 5, 10 years from now. Oh, you gotta win like Jordan won. You gotta go 6 for 6 or this or that. No, man. It's certain things that make players great. That's what it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I just hate that shit. It's
But
ridiculous.
see, let me say something like this, South, because I'm glad you brought that up. Look, when I compare players, right? Like I don't to me, I think it's silly, and some people might disagree. I don't like comparing LeBron to a Kobe or MJ. I think that comparison is so asinine, man. It's not even funny because, for one, they didn't even play a similar style of game. If I'm gonna compare anybody to like a LeBron, I'm gonna compare him to like a Magic, or I'm gonna compare him to like Oscar Robertson, or I'm gonna compare him to like even a Penny Hardaway. You know what I'm saying? Because say what you want, when Penny came in, when Penny came in, he was
I
he
say
was
Grant
he
Hill
was
before
like
Penny
he was
Hardaway.
like LeBron in a lot of ways
I
with what
compare
he was
Grant
doing.
Hill to Penny Hardaway. I mean, the LeBron more than Penny though.
Who, Grant Hill?
Yeah, if you look at Grant Hill, his numbers are more comparable to Penny to
Well,
LeBron. He
I'm
just wasn't
talking
as
about.
big and strong as he wasn't as strong as LeBron.
Yeah,
Because
no,
you
no,
got
no, 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 no. Yeah, absolutely not. I'm looking like because they could both. Like you got a good point there with too with Grant Hill and Penny Hardaway. They could both handle the ball because what did they do? South Solitico. You remember they started putting that whole thing about Grant Hill being compared to Scottie Pippen and what they call it the point forward and all that.
yeah,
You, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because Grant
Penny,
Hill was handling the rock and he was getting others involved and he could take it to the cup and do all this flamboyant stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Grant Hill was a Grant Hill was more of a. I think Grant Hill and the LeBron comparison is more plausible than Penny. Penny, Penny had a back to the basket game. He was more skillful, and actually, in my opinion, Grant Hill was actually better than Penny, but Penny was more sensationalized and more
Well,
polarized.
when they were healthy,
Yeah,
nah, man. Hey, Penny, man, Penny used to blow by Jordan.
I understand that matchup. See now you scaring me. I know Penny had great
Penny
matchups
used to
against
blow
Jordan,
by all the guys in the league.
but do you hold on? No. If you from the '90s, the hardest person for Pippen to guard was Grant Hill.
Well, yeah, that
They
but that
could
was
get
a
the
small
quarterback. They
forward.
didn't beat them as a team, but he could not do nothing with Grant Hill. And Grant Hill didn't even shoot. He didn't even really shoot threes. He had a little
Yeah,
jumper.
nah,
He
he
had a
wasn't that
ridiculous
great of
first
a
step.
shooter.
He I mean, he just didn't shoot threes. He had a jumper and he had a nasty first step.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
absolutely. But he wasn't like he wasn't a knockdown. He wasn't like a knockdown on a consistent basis. He was more of a slasher getting into the
Yeah, he
lane.
was faster, but he had a jumper that'll keep you honest. That's what Grant Hill had. And he was more similar. He was better than Penny, man. He actually was. He just
Nah,
wasn't.
man, he
He
couldn't pass
wasn't.
like
He
Penny.
wasn't.
He
He,
wasn't more. Penny had moves. Penny had that first step too. Like you
Penny,
say, he had the back to the basket. Penny
yeah,
could get others involved. Penny could run in
yeah, but,
transition. Penny could
yeah,
catch the lob. Come
but,
on, man.
but Grant Hill had way more production. And Grant Hill prime, he averaged more points, rebounds, and assists than
Grant
Grant.
Hill never got to the finals.
Grant Hill never played with no check. He never played on no team like Orlando. Come on, man.
Huh?
You
Yeah, I
know,
mean,
he
yeah,
ain't
I
no
get,
team like that, man.
I get.
He ain't gonna do that.
He had Joe Dumars, man. Come on.
No, he ain't playing with no
He
team
had
like
Lindsey
Orlando,
Hunter.
man.
He had
Come
Derek
on.
Coleman.
You know you capping now, Polo. Come on.
Nah, I'm fucking with you, man. Nah, but nah,
I
he,
love some Penny, bro. I got some Penny Hardaways on right now on
yeah,
this
yeah,
stage.
exactly. You know, hey, Penny shoes, man. That was look at her. Let's see. Come on, man. I think you fell out, Sal. But yeah, man, I would take Penny, but man, Duke Duke is my squad, so you know I definitely got Grant Hill up there, man. I definitely got Grant Hill up there, man. But yeah, man, I know MJ. I know MJ is your goat, RJ Guap. You know what I'm saying? It's just that you know there's a lot of people that get on this. I see you, man. I see you with the pennies, bro.
I love Penny, man. But he wasn't better than Grant Hill, bro. You
Yeah,
go back.
man. Man,
I'm gonna tell you
at
something.
the height of
96.
the height of their career, I'm taking Penny all day, bro.
Listen, do you realize this? In the '96 All Star game, Grant Hill had more All Star votes. He's the only player in Jordan's prime to outvote, get more votes than him in the All Star game.
Yeah, yeah,
And
but
he's the only rookie to lead the All Star game in votes. And he came
right.
into the league instantly. He was 20. He was 25-5. That was one. That's
Re-
another thing that's similar to LeBron.
Remember when they got co MVP? Remember that? I mean,
Him
co
and Jason
Rookie of the
Kidd.
Year.
Him and Jason Kidd, yeah.
Yeah,
And
him
you
and
know, I
Jason
told
Kidd.
you Jason Kidd another one of my guys. Them three outside of Jordan. Because to be
Uh-huh.
honest with you, about when Jordan first came back, I was tired of Jordan. I was like, man,
You
these might be.
man, yeah. A lot
They
of
got
people felt
Papa
that way.
still
A
good.
lot of people felt it. I know it sounds political. You right. A
Yeah.
lot of people felt that way. I didn't even want to. I thought his shoes when he first came back were ugly. Remember when he came back and he had the you know like those I forget what Jordans those were, but he came back and he came back and he started wearing those ones that had the black the white on top and then in the middle
The
you know
patent
and the
leather,
45 on the back. I hated those.
the patent leather one.
No, no, not the patent leather
I
ones.
was saying,
It's
you
the
don't like
one.
the patent leather ones, but them the best ones.
Yeah, yeah, not the pallet. No, the pallet leather ones. No, those were dope. I'm talking about the ones when he came back because they had the baseball. You know, they look like baseball, a baseball type of shoe that you would wear, but it was still a basketball shoe. And I was like, man, I don't want to wear it. I was mad. I ain't gonna lie. When Jordan came back, I was happy, but I was like, dang, he's not.
You
You know,
talking about
what's up with
with the
Jordan?
pink one. Oh, you talking about the
I thought he
season.
fell off,
You
but
talking
I didn't
about like
realize he was
stripes.
in
They
baseball
got like
shape.
they got like did they have stripes with the shoestrings? It was like a
Let
stripe.
me look him up, man. Let me look
You
him
probably
up.
talking about the tens.
Hold on one sec. Give me 1 second, South Political.
Yeah.
Uh, oh, all right. Um, Okay, one, two. The Jordan, yeah, it was the Jordan nines.
Oh, I love the nines.
Yeah, I didn't. I see. I didn't like those.
Yeah, like
I'm saying in the beginning. At that time, I didn't like them. But my
okay.
favorite were the my favorite ones of all time were the it was the Jordan it was the Jordan eights,
Yeah, I don't like the eights.
the black ones.
Yeah, I don't like the eights. I like the
And
nines, the 11s.
and then I like the ones the Jordan 16s. Those were the ones that cracked. What was it? I think it was the Jordan 16 that cracked the 200 mark, wasn't it?
Uh, I think it's the
Remember that?
17. The 17 with the suitcase. It's 16 or 17. It's the 17s because they came in the suitcase. I remember my best friend. 'Cause I was in
Yeah,
high
yeah,
school.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Saturday morning with him. I was like, man, you bought them ugly ass shoes. I don't like. I like the 17 and a halves because I had
yeah.
them. The 17 and a half, I had them because they had snakes. They had snake skin, and then
Right,
they had
right, 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 right.
with the $200 ones. I'm like, man, them don't even look right.
Yeah, they cracked the 200. They cracked the 200 mark. I was like, man, you out your mind. I'm not paying that much.
Nah, them won't work. Now they regular 200 now, Jordans.
Yeah,
Start
they regular, but back then, come on, South. Back then, you was like, man, 200. I mean, we could deal with 100. You know what I'm saying?
200. Penny
Like,
penny penny phone posits started that $200 shoe stuff.
man, like fuck all that. And then, they for a while, Bubba Chuck shoes were starting to, take control of things. You know what I'm saying? The answer and the question and stuff, man. They started to take control of things. But yeah, I was a shoe head now, but I just got my son the Jordan sevens.
Oh yeah, the sevens
Yeah,
are
I,
straight.
I I live. Man, I put everything into my son. Man, I let him get all the Jordan. My wife be getting on me, so she be like, "Why you buy him? Why you buy him those expensive shoes?" Da 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 da. I'm like, "Baby, that was only but she'll look at it like they gonna grow out of him. He gonna get them dirty soon and stuff like that. But I just want him and my daughter to be, you
Yeah.
know, have the thing because I didn't wear. Hey, South Political, you gonna laugh at me. I didn't wear a pair of Jordans till like maybe my what was it like my sophomore year in high school. That's it. We wasn't balling like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
I was a crazy shoe head too, man. It's a lot of shoes I buy for $200-300 because I couldn't get them when I was younger, bro. They don't understand. It's certain thing when you have the money to buy something that has some kind of memory, bro. You willing to pay just about certain people willing to pay just about any price for it. Cause I remember
Right.
wanting pennies. These pennies I got on are my favorite shoe when I was little. I wanted these shoes so bad. I had seen somebody at the basketball game with them on, and I like lost my
Right.
mind. I was like, man, and I remember going around Dallas. My mama went around Dallas trying to find them.
when you when you when you making your way back to Texas, Sal?
Man, I'm gonna come probably this summer because I gotta come down there for some business stuff anyway and just check with my family and some.
Man, come on down, man. Yeah, like I tell anybody, man, if they come around the way, y'all definitely got a place. You know what I'm saying? And Dallas, man, it's so
Man, I
big.
got so many family. You gotta understand, I'm from Tyler. I got family in
Yeah,
Dallas,
yeah,
so
yeah. That's right.
I don't
Yeah, I
have to
keep
go
forget. Yeah,
stay
yeah,
with
yeah.
nobody. Bro, you got I
Texas
don't
boy.
gotta go
Yeah,
stay
who
with
am I
nobody.
talking to?
I got family all over Tyler, Dallas, so I don't have to.
Yeah.
I appreciate it though.
Yeah, hop, skip, and a jump. And let these boys know, man. Look, I had an argument, South Solitical. I'm gonna be talking about cooking now because I'm getting ready to cook in a minute, man. About to make these babies some food. But let's just set the record straight right now, okay? My partner from Louisiana, man, he swear, just because they got New Orleans and they got Shreveport and all that, they can cook. They got the Cajun and stuff. But
Yeah.
man, tell them, man, they sleeping on that East Texas barbecue.
Oh, they don't know. They just don't know, man. Some people do know about it. East Texas
Yeah,
barbecue, Greenberg turkeys, all that, man.
yeah.
It ain't too much better you can do than
Whew.
that, man. It ain't too much, man.
Man,
I ain't saying it ain't something better than that, but it ain't too much.
you please tell me you could grill South Solidical. You sound like you can
I can
cook,
tell you,
man.
I can actually cook, man. I
Uh huh.
actually can cook. I don't do a lot of grilling. My brother do. He got a
Right,
smoke
right.
up. He actually stay up here too in Atlanta.
Okay, okay.
He do more grilling. I would say I'm want to get into it, but I actually do like Louisiana food though. I love gumbo, like some gumbo. I
Uh huh.
got on Texas style of doing it, but man, I love some goddamn seafood gumbo, boy.
I know you do. Hey, and it's got to be authentic, man. Like I can't, like I can taste the difference, man. If the roux hits my mouth and
I
it
made
don't
the
taste
gumbo
right.
back in October, and my best friend that came down for the first time because he been saying forever, man, I'm coming to Atlanta. He finally came at
Uh
the
huh.
in the fall in October last year, and I said, let me
Mm.
go on there and look for gumbo, man. I sent it back home to my mom, and she was like, man, this thing better than mine. I was like, I wasn't expecting her to say that,
Right.
but I put my foot in that thing. I,
ATL, ATL, man. You in the land of the man. I know you don't have some good cooking down there, bro.
I don't think it's good food down here, man. I'm actually
You
right here in
don't?
front of the Jamaican spot though. I'm at I'm at in front of this Jamaican spot in which I go to. This is the best Jamaican spot to me I done been to because I, s- I stay on the east side. You know, a lot of the Jamaicans stay on the east side.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, you need to. Well, shoot, my wife. You know what I'm saying? She Caribbean, man, and she make a lot of the, like the curry chicken. You know what I'm saying? The goat. The oxtails, all that. You know what I'm saying? So she definitely be putting it down. They got a lot of spots down here too. You already know, man. We go to this place, man. It's in Dallas, man. It's called uh, it's called Jamaica Gates. Jamaican
Okay.
Gates, man. So when you down here and you know Dallas, man, just look that up. It's called Jamaican
You know,
Gates.
a lot
Now,
of
oh, go ahead. You got it.
Now I'm saying, a lot of us East Texans, we don't know a lot about Jamaica, so I didn't really, unless you could move to Houston and then maybe
Uh-huh.
something about Dallas.
Uh-huh.
You, a lot of my family, you don't know a lot about this Jamaican food. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? East Texas, n- Negroes grow up eating, having fish fries, trail rides, barbecue
Yeah.
brisket.
Yeah.
That's how you know
Man,
about
no,
that East
man,
Texas cooking.
ho. Wait, 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 wait. You wait. Did you just say trail ride?
Come on, man.
Hey, look, like, nah, hey,
Yeah,
man,
that's
come
a,
on, South Political. I ain't gonna let you get away with that, man. When's the last time you been on a fucking trail ride, man?
I don't, bro. I've been in Atlanta, man. I'm just saying that's what my family do.
Oh my God, man. I've been meaning. I never been,
You
man.
never
I never been South Political. I got invited because my partner he was in a little group, and they used to go all the time. And his name was Reggie, man. He always used to want me to, go and stuff like that, but I never went. But he would show me what they would be doing on Facebook, man. Tell me about
You
them
say
things.
you from Dallas? You say you from Dallas? Or where you say you from?
Yeah.
You
No,
said
no, 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 no.
you just
Originally
stay in Dallas.
from Central Texas. You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh, okay.
that whole
I
Killeen
used
way.
to
But
know a cat though from Central. Y'all done had trail rides back down that way?
they did, man. They had a lot, but I never
I'm
used to
like,
go.
bro,
I knew a lot of guys that was in the, like the motorcycle clubs. They would be in the car clubs and stuff like that, and they used to go on things like that. You know what I'm saying? And my partner
yeah.
was a photographer, so he used to take pictures on that, and he would also put it on Facebook what they were doing and stuff. I'm
Yeah.
like, man, I got to go to that, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that's something big with me. I don't go to a lot of my family done had host them and do all that. I'm just telling you, that's the Texas atmosphere. If you from Texas,
Absolutely,
I know about trail ride. That's why you started to confuse me. I'm like, man, if you from Texas now? Because Negro, when the summer hit, them niggas had them trail rides.
man. Yeah,
Some show
I've been wanting to
barbecue,
go. I never went, man. I never
barbecue,
went,
all that. You know what I'm
man.
saying?
LeBron's not going back to Miami. He's staying in LA. Hey, we'll have to see. Don Lovato, salute to you, man. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. I'm not saying that he is, but Pat Riley's leaving the door open for him.
I mean, no, people gonna leave the door open for LeBron, man. He's still, he's just still that important to a team. He might not be the LeBron of the 20s, but people can front and have it and say they little slick disses, but at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? If you got a chance to get LeBron, you'll change your whole little, what I'm saying, mentality up.
Man, they'll revamp it. I can't front that. That's facts right there. They'll do it because
Yeah.
Pat Riley, South Political. Pat Riley, he was excited to be just back in the mist again last year. So he kind of had that. Damn, man, I missed them days when we used to go to the championship.
Yeah.
He missed that. All of this to catch Michael Jordan. At least Michael Jordan won a championship when he came out with Space Jam that same year on Father's Day. I
Yeah.
mean, but oh, you got it. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing about it is, people can look at it like this. They don't have to agree with this, but the league, Jordan played in the league where it was more parity, right? But this
Mhm.
league, like I've said, when LeBron posed a threat to be to start making runs for championships, you had the Boston team be formed,
Right.
influenced by players, even though it might have not been to the same influence as the Heat team, but the reaction to that was him joining to the Heat because the Cleveland wasn't an organization that was putting the right pieces around to compete with teams in the East. Anybody that don't want to that anybody that's gonna argue that, come on, man, what kind of basketball you really watching? The Cavs couldn't get viable free agent players, and that's one of the reasons why LeBron left. They couldn't get players to compete with what a lot of other teams were doing in the East.
So,
This is not
so
the same, huh?
no, my bad, Shaq. I wasn't cutting you off, but I wanted to ask you on that, man. So you don't think that situation with Delonte might have further escalated him leaving?
I mean, not just that. I mean, that could have been possibly icing on the cake or just another additive. But you got to think about it. They would not get informative free agents to consider going to Cleveland to play.
Yeah, because of the market.
Yeah, and then you had teams like Orlando getting tightening up, getting better veteran players to go alongside Dwight Howard. You had you had the Boston teams like we try to act like every player's era had the same situation going on. As basketball evolved, free agency, the money people make, a lot of things has affect it affects the success of a player. Just like I've said before, if the Chicago Bulls as an organization done a phenomenal they done phenomenally in managing the players they brought in to play with with um with Michael Jordan, the coach. Like, man, that you can't denounce that. That wasn't the same situation that LeBron came into. Wasn't the same situation.
But
I'm
man,
not
like
saying that to say LeBron was better. I'm not saying that to say LeBron was. I'm not bringing that point up to say he was better or not, but people need to take this in consideration. Like,
mm,
all these players don't come into the league under the same situations. You know what I'm saying? Just not the same situation.
yeah, he
And
had he
if
got he had keys to the organization
yeah,
from the
yeah,
get. But like, I'm gonna say this out, I, I, like Kraus. Everybody gets on Kraus about what he did. I didn't even like Jerry Krause. A lot of them didn't like Jerry Krause and everything. With the exception of what he did. You know what I'm saying? Like in terms of field, I definitely felt like man, it was it was wrong how he did feel that last year, man. When he was with the Bulls, man.
I agree with that. That was toxic. I
That
mean,
was
one
some
of the
that
biggest.
was some snakish stuff.
Yeah,
FYF, I'm finna shut it down in just a little bit, FYF, man, because I gotta go cook, man. Hold on. I know FYF want to get in here. Go ahead,
Yo,
Lamont.
no, I was gonna be quick. I was wondering, like, where did this, like, where did the rumors, like, and I know it's just all stories and just talk, but like, where did this like story come from where LeBron might potentially end up back in Miami? I heard something about it yesterday, but I didn't think it was serious.
Yeah, well, it was it came the link is in it came from Clutch Points and everything, but
Oh, got you.
yeah, it was just speculation because they were saying that Pat Riley had made a joke. It was actually a joke, but I think he was kind of serious if there was ever a case where he wanted to come back. He's welcome to come. I don't think Pat Riley would rule that out either. But
Yeah.
I don't. Hey, we don't know if it's going to take place. I just asked what the people think. What y'all think about it?
hmm
Maybe
Yeah,
he just looking forward to
I
the
looked at the Lakers contract situation, and if I'm being realistic about it, the Lakers are going to have to bring the same team back next year. There's going to be very little, small, very minimal changes, and because there's so many guys that are going to be free agents, even with those free agents contracts off the books, they're over the salary cap with KCP, Kuzma, AD, and LeBron's contracts. So they're going to have to overpay to keep Schroeder, Morris, Caruso, all of these Schroeder. They're going to have to overpay just to keep those free agents. And then once you re-sign those guys, you're not going to be able to trade them to the trade deadline anyway. And if let's say they're the number one seed in the West next year, they're not going to trade them at the trade deadline anyway. So yeah, we're probably what you see now is probably what we're going to see next year with the
Yeah,
Lakers.
because Rob
I don't
Pelinka
think
said
it's
the goal is to
pack.
keep that core.
Well, they have no choice, no
I think it'd be
flexibility.
I think it'd be a lot of friction if they stay in pack.
You said what?
I think it'll be a lot of friction if they stay in pack with this roster.
And well, the thing is, they don't have a choice. Like that's my whole thing. Like if you what can you do? I mean, the only moves you can make is maybe trade Kuzma, maybe trade KCP, but those guys both lost a lot of value. What are you going to get for them realistically? That's going to really help this team.
Yeah, we'll have to see once the playoffs. I mean, some might come up, some might not, but I think it will.
The one thing that won't change is their salary cap situation. That's set in stone.
I agree with that.
The business side of it just tells you they're going to have to fight to keep Schroeder out of free agency. Montrez, Caruso's going to command 3 years, $30 million from what I saw. They're going to have to pay him that. They can't afford to let him walk. They can't afford to let Schroeder walk for nothing. They're going to have to pay these guys. Schroeder was smart not to sign that extension because he has the Lakers in the palm of his hand.
And Anthony Davis got the bird rights, and KCP got the early bird.
Yeah, but they're both signed. They're both signed multi-years. They both signed long term.
Right, but I know that some people were, some people were talking about given his injury history and stuff like that. They were willing to go ahead and try to do anything that they could to move AD for somebody.
Well, you're not going to move AD because LeBron wants him there. One, and two, you don't trade Anthony Davis unless Anthony Davis says I want to get traded. You don't trade superstars in this league just because. You don't do that.
Man, we don't know where his health lies, and then that growing. We don't know what's going to be involved with that.
Chris Paul a couple years ago against Golden State had a bad growing. Look at him now. He was in the MVP race last year, and then this year he just put the Lakers out. You'll be fine. Right, he'll be fine.
Yeah, he'll be fine, but he's still falling. He's still falling on the floor with knick-knack injuries.
That's.
I mean, ain't nobody gonna be no 100%. And then when we were talking about the growing tear, I mean not the growing tear, the meniscus tear. This is what I was saying. FY. This is what I said about it. I don't think, man, sit motherfucking Embiid's ass down. I don't even want him out there. I don't want him out there.
He's been playing on it all year.
He's been playing with it all year.
He's had the same small meniscus tear all years. Right now, it's about tolerance and making sure it doesn't get worse. And it's going to be Embiid's call. They're going to, obviously that their staff is going to make the right decision with it. But with Embiid, this is just who he is. This is meniscus tear. He opted not to get surgically repaired, and so it's just going to be about tolerance. So
I think it'd be friction if the Lakers don't make no moves.
But the thing, I agree with you. They're not in a position though. There could be friction all you want, but there's nothing that they can do. There's literally nothing that they can do. When you could offer Kuzma, you can put Kuzma and KCP on the market. What team is going to be like, yes, let's get Kuzma? He looked awesome in the playoffs. Let's go get him.
We were talking about him earlier. He looked like a player that's got more important stuff going on in his life to him than basketball.
No, he's just who he is. He's just a sixth man on any other team. He's just a sixth or seventh man on your bench. Everybody in LA wants him to be a starter and a third scorer on his team. That's just not who he's going to be.
But he's not playing.
He came in. On an uprise as far as his development though.
No, he came in scoring a lot of points on a bad team.
He averaged 16. Well, I mean, they were young though. They were young. I mean, he was playing with a rookie ass point guard that wasn't really. He wasn't even established yet with Lonzo Ball.
KCP in Detroit. I mean, not KCP in Detroit was averaging 16, 18 a game. That don't mean
he was phenomenal in Detroit.
Yeah, but
he wasn't 20 or nothing like that, but he was hella athletic. Hell yeah.
But on a good team, that's not his MO. He's just a 3-and-D guy. When you're in a bad team, yeah, you can look better than what you actually are. Kuzma scored a lot of points on a bad team.
That team that they got this year, Lamont, man, there's nowhere near the team that they had when they went to the finals, man, and won it last year.
No, it's not. But the thing is, this is what they're stuck with. When you sell out for titles, you get stuck like this, and they're stuck with this roster. Like people say, shake it up and change it. Okay, let Schroeder walk for free. Let Harold go for free. Let Gasol go for free. Let Caruso go for free. Let them go for free.
Matthews only got one year.
Only thing you can do if you let them go for free is replace them with G League guys, and then tell me how you like that. So those are your alternatives.
What you say, Sal?
The only way to hope that a formidable player would take less to come play, which that's asking a lot.
But the Lakers can't get into the free agency market. They're over the cap. That's dead.
Oh, okay, they're over the cap.
They're over the cap. Even if you take Schroeder's money off, even if you take all of these guys' money off with the contracts that they have on the books, they're over the cap.
Unless they go start worry about the cap and play over the penalty with the cap penalty. I don't know.
Yeah, but you can only sign your own players when you're over the cap. You can't sign free agents. This is why you have to sign your own players. Yeah, if you're over the cap, they can pay to keep Caruso. They can pay to keep Schroeder. But you can't go out and sign an Al Horford. You can't go out and sign some of these other guys because they're not on your team. You can only go over the cap to keep your own players.
So more or less, they'd be looking at potentially a sign and trade option if they're going to maneuver.
You can try to do that, but even if you do a sign and trade, like, are the player you bring it in? Like, look at the players you're signing and trading with. I mean, okay, let's say we do a sign and trade with Dennis Schroeder. What player can you bring in that's going to help more than what Dennis Schroeder did? And you have to make it work for both teams.
That's where it's tough. Because most people that's trying to initiate a trade don't get the same value back, especially in that short term.
So what you think gonna happen with Dame?
Well, I mean, Portland's keeping him. You don't trade. Remember, you don't small market teams, especially. You don't trade your superstars. It's just when is the next time Portland is ever going to get a Dame? They have to draft Dame. Then they don't get free agents. Nobody signs there. They have to trade or draft players. They drafted CJ. They drafted Brandon Roy. They drafted LaMarcus Aldridge. They don't sign free agents. They don't. Nobody wants to go play in for some reason.
The best they could do is get a Carmelo that's at the end of his career that nobody really wants.
Yeah, and they got him on a minimum deal when nobody wanted to sign him. So,
And this is my thing too. Like, that CJ McCullough and him are just not working out. They did the good thing that I liked, and Terry Stotts getting rid of his ass because he wasn't he ain't a good coach, man. To me, he wasn't. That's just my opinion.
But if that team was fully healthy, fully loaded with Zach Collins, do you think? I don't think they lose to Denver.
Portland, man, I had Portland going further than what they was this year. I had Portland going.
When you have the historically and analytically the worst defensive backcourt in NBA history, is going to be hard to win playoff games. So I don't know what Stotts can do about that.
Man, okay. So who do you think would be a great coach for that situation?
Me, I like Mike Brown.
I've been talking about Mike Brown, but everybody been kind of shoving him over the rug like he don't have no value.
Boys, the one thing you know about Mike Brown is with this Portland team, you don't have to worry about offense. Damian Lillard and CJ gonna score the ball. Mike Brown understands defense. He knows how to turn a team. And look what Thibodeau did for the Knicks just by bringing defense. Them motherfuckers can't score the ball for shit. He just brought a little bit of defense, and they got them dudes at the 4 seed in the East. If you just bring somebody who can just bring this team some defense and coach them up on defense, imagine what you can do because they already a good scoring team. Mike Brown would be my go-to guy.
I'm not too fond of Mike Brown.
Dang,
maybe assistant coach, not head coach.
If people trying to say Jason Kidd and Chauncey Billups.
Y'all supposed to be getting Jerome or interviewing Jerome Allen.
I mean, the Portland's always known for going completely opposite against the grain of what everybody's thinking. Everybody might be thinking J. Kidd or Chauncey. No, they'll sign some European coach that nobody knows. That's just how they always when they signed Stotts, that came out of the blue. Nobody even knew he was on the radar. So Portland's gonna do what they do. They weird when it comes to picking the coach. So it's just up in the air.
Yeah, Portland. Portland, one of them organizations, they not gonna get great players unless they just draft them.
Yeah, that's how it is. That's why you don't trade your superstars. Maybe trade CJ if you can find a trade, but it's going to be extremely hard. And he's a massive contract that he has and you got to bring in equal salary because Portland's over the salary cap too. I mean, you're going to be, man, it'd be hard as hell to move CJ.
I thought the cap was supposed to go up. I guess the COVID affected it.
Even if it goes up with the projected rise in the cap, there's still only 4 teams under the cap. Charlotte, New York, 2 other teams. It's really only 4 teams under the cap.
And then rebuild the teams. Damn.
And generally the teams that have sold out to win chips or keep superstars, they're really stuck with that roster.
Yeah.
Knicks are in prime position to fuck it. The Knicks need to go all in the free agency market this year. They're in prime position to win.
Hell yeah, man! If I'm the Knicks, I'm not touching.
You think they should move
Randle? Huh?
Yeah, I think they should move Randle. Or they
should no.
Hell no! You keep Randle's now your heart and soul of your team.
This is the learning experience. He's never been in that situation before. He's never been in the man. Got my bad. He's never been in a position like that. This was good for him. Now he's got to go in and capitalize on that in the off season and work on where he was weak at.
Big facts. Hey, you see that standing ovation they got, even though they got beat 4-1. The fans knew what time it was. They stood up and gave that team an ovation for this year. They deserved it.
I thought they would beat the Hawks, being that they both were kind of on the same pattern, being a young
Mm-mm.
and
They
inexperienced
weren't on the
team.
same path. The
I
Nah.
Hawks
mean,
have been the Hawks were a great scoring team, and Nate
no, I'm saying
McMillan
as
brought
far as
defense.
I was looking at the experience going into between both of
And they
the.
were killing them in the pick and roll with Capella, and Capella was a juggernaut on the offensive boards.
I'm saying,
Collins did his thing too.
yeah, Collins is solid. Collins going to be a restricted free agent. They're going to probably keep him. I mean, that team is solid. You talk about one of the deepest teams. They're on the same trajectory as Phoenix, man, with all that young players, length. Man, they got some. They got a nice future ahead of them.
Trey Young, man, Trey Young, he's at the forefront of ushering in this new generation. The Lakers are done. Their bodies are like glass bodies. They can't take hits. This is not the '80s, the '90s style of basketball. Most likely, LeBron might retire. Well, LeBron not gonna retire just yet.
No, but that's a
And
lie. What he just said. The Lakers are not glass. This is a domino effect of playing deep into the bubble last year. Every team that went deep into the bubble, Miami, LA, all of those teams are dealing with injuries because they had no recovery time. I want Chow to go out and try to hoop as hard as you can every single day, 4 years straight. 4 years straight. And that's just at the YMCA. I want to see how your body feels if you do that.
That's
You
not at
know,
the professional level,
I
at the
mean,
high.
no recovery. No, these guys are used to having a summer off, recovering, cryotherapy, yoga, getting right back. They had none of that. And AD was hurt in the finals. No recovery time, no training camp, none of that. And then now you want to call them glass? Well, look at the Heat.
Not
Look
to
at all the
mention,
things the Heat dealt with this year. They did not look like the Heat last year with essentially the same roster.
but hold on, Lamont. Not to mention flusting up your roster a little bit, but letting the 4 or 5 people bringing new guys in. They got to get acclimated, having injuries down the stretch of the season, and
Yeah.
not having no chemistry and continuity going in the playoffs, and then losing arguably your best player
Yes.
in the first round.
Yeah. I
You know what
mean,
I'm saying?
a recipe for disaster. That bubble, they paid the price for going all out in the bubble to win that title. Teams like the Hawks who stayed at home, teams like the Knicks who stayed at home, got all that rest and got rejuvenated, came back out and played better. I mean, even Charlotte started the season off when before LaMelo got hurt. They started off strong. They were the 4th seed for a little bit. All them teams who weren't in the bubble or didn't go deep in the bubble had some success this year to a certain degree. Most of them. Teams that went deep struggling.
I wanted
And
Charlotte. Charlotte was a playoff team before, man. Before Lamelo situation, man. I wanted Charlotte to make it in there so bad, man, because I like Lamelo.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to see them get swept in the first round, so it was probably a good thing.
Hey, it would, like I said, man. If they get swept, listen. Whether it's New York getting swept, whether it was Memphis, they didn't get swept, but they lost and
Mhm.
everything like that. They have a
Yeah.
bright future. Even if Phoenix lose, look, they still got a
Mm-hmm.
bright future ahead of them, man. A
Facts.
bright future, with the exception, I mean, Chris Paul, but he's still gonna return. But we talking about in total. I mean, Aiden, he's on the upside. He emerging, man. I wouldn't be
Yep.
mad about nothing.
Oh, no, 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 no. Yeah, those teams are solid. But y'all look how Phoenix. Look, Phoenix didn't even get into the playoffs out of the bubble last year. Look how they emerged. Look at Utah. They got bounced out early. Look
Yeah,
how they played this year. All the teams that got that extra rest, it paid dividends for them. So, I mean, now now there's no excuses for the Lakers next year. They can come back with the same roster. We should see a different Laker team. Shouldn't be the same.
yeah, man. I'm getting ready to cook for these kids, man.
All right,
Anything
man.
last points?
Hold
No,
on. What
no,
you cooking? What you cooking, Polo?
man. Just gonna make some stuff for the kids, some spaghetti,
Oh, I
man.
thought you about to barbecue something up. You sound like you
Nah,
was about to get on the grill or something.
nah, man. That's these boys outside. They want to go out and go play and all that stuff and meet a barbecue, but not today, man. What's y'all final takes on this though, man? Anything on LeBron? Anything, man?
Man, just I can't. I'm just looking forward to what the best series we have left, the Bucks in Brooklyn. I think Giannis is going to really change a lot of people's mind this
Who,
series.
who you got? Who you got, Lamar?
I got the Bucks in 5.
Yeah, I got the Bucks in 6, man.
Bucks
With
in
South
5.
Solidico, I think he got the Bucks too.
And I think Drew Holiday is going to essentially eliminate one of the big three that they have. He's going to nullify one of them, and we saw how they struggle when one of those three doesn't really come out and play. Giannis, he scores too easily on that team. They don't have the defensive IQ to build a wall to stop him, and the wall doesn't work on this team because of Drew Holiday and Middleton and the guys that they had to space the floor like Brent Forbes and all those guys. So Bucks in 5, I got. Don't think it's
So
going to be a competitive series.
let me ask you this: do you still got the Sixers going to the finals with this Embiid situation?
Because of the Embiid injury and then the way the Bucks came on late, I changed my pick late. I said I got the Bucks coming out the East, but I think it's going to come down to either the Sixers or the Bucks.
Okay. You still think it's still possible even with him having this injury? I didn't know
Yeah, I
he was.
don't think the injury serious. I don't think it's serious at all. I think it's they're taking it precautionary. And I think if they can sneak away, and I agree with Polo, maybe sit him game 1, see if you can pull out a win without him, give them some extra rest. And if you can do that, because I trust that team to win one game without Embiid, then they should be perfect. They're in prime position to go ahead and win that series.
Well, we've already figured out, like as much as people get on Doc about not being an X and O or tactical or strategical, you see what he did the last game. And me and Hitman had talked about that. Shout out to Hitman about
Mm-hmm.
moving Ben in the front court, whether it's the 4 or 5, and then bringing in Maxi and then having Shake Milton, take care of the rest, and then you got George Hill and stuff with the back. That was a
Yeah.
strategic move because now
They've been
you
doing
got
that all year, putting them at
yeah,
power forward all year. In the half
exactly.
court, he's a power forward. In transition, he's a point guard.
Because he could handle the rock, and on top of that, he could get in. He ain't got no back to the basket game or nothing like that. But who really does in this modern era right now? So
Yeah, I mean, I like what's left. I mean, this is the first time in a couple years we don't have a LeBron and Steph Curry in the playoffs, so we can see some
yeah,
different shake up now.
parity. That's what I want.
Yeah, I want to see something different. So I'm kind of glad that this happened. I want to see a little bit different. We'll see who can step up.
Sure, I wouldn't mind. I was telling South Solidical, I wouldn't mind seeing like a Utah versus Atlanta or something like that. But the NBA, they, 9 times out of 10, that's not what they aiming for.
I I I don't mind seeing different players. I just hate the fact that teams lost due to the circumstances not being fully healthy and at full, at somewhat full strength. I'm a big LeBron fan, but if somebody beat them fair and square, it is what it is.
But
You said who the hell is beating the Nets, man? Jaren, man, the Bucks are beating the Nets, man. The Bucks, man, they clearly got way too many solid guys as far as role players, and they're way deeper. Nets don't really have anybody like that. Man, they don't have anybody. They're not deep at all.
I just hope we don't have that many injuries going into next year to star players around the league. You know what I'm saying? That's that affected the running to getting into the playoffs. A lot of different things. A lot of star players hurt, and we kind of pretty much gave the points why that happened. But I like to see teams get beat at full strength, man. You can't get everything you want. That's how it is. That's just life.
Yeah, man. Shoot, man. Y'all already know how I do, man. Hopefully, y'all pull up for the playoff. Pull up, going live, man, for the Bucks and the Brooklyn. This is a fill out game, so we can't expect too much or whatever. But I definitely do want the Bucks to establish something and let them know, hey, we're not here to play with you, and then it's gonna go from there. But
I
yeah,
I love to see Giannis win a chip, man. I think
yeah,
he's
he deserves it.
and
He deserves it. He's a get it off the mud type of player, and he doesn't sit up there and whine and cry about MVPs and all this other stuff. He's hard nosed. He doesn't care about the criticism about people saying that he can't shoot or saying he can't do this or saying he can't do that. He comes back every better. Blue collar, that's what we need, man. Blue collar for that dollar. Ain't that right? Sounds political.
Yeah.
Man, for real, I'm not even playing. But man, y'all be easy, man. Y'all be safe, man. And come join me again. Pull up if you can, man. FIF, man. Just go sub to his page. South Political, man. You know how we do. LDBC. We all up in this bitch. I'll holler at y'all, man.
I appreciate it. Come on.